Texas, where a title and a trophy are on the line. If you'd said 3 months ago it's going to be TCU and Kansas State fighting for it, they'd have said, you are crazy. So TCU will boot it away. Luke Laminack kicks it off. And Malik Knowles, a dangerous return. One of the top receivers in this K-State team is deep, but he will bring it out from 2 yards. Knowles, a long strider. Will get out near the 28-yard line, and we'll see this K-State offense go to work with Will Howard, who was not the starter at the beginning of the season. Adrian Martinez went down with a leg injury. Howard stepped in. Different kind of quarterback than Martinez. Keep an eye on his deep ball threat today.
Yeah, he's a guy that's been around for a number of years, 3 years of starting experience, but he takes over this year. He really changed his body from last year to this year, dropped 20 pounds of body fat, put 30 pounds of muscle on. So you see him now as a much more different athletic, big, strong, physical quarterback.
And the first touch of the game goes to Deuce Vaughn, and the Horned Frogs able to wrestle him down for a 4-yard gain. Martinez just hasn't been able to get that ankle and knee healthy, but he is the best buddies of Will Howard. Been very supportive, really kind of a model teammate. He'll be back for the bowl game in New Orleans.
He will be. There was some rumors, the possibility of him being healthy enough this week, but obviously not going to happen.
Vaughn picks his way patiently, but he's knocked down behind the line. That Frogs defense loaded with speed, and that's Shad Banks who made the play.
Yeah, Terrell Cooper on the edge actually handles a double team and forces him back to the inside. Really good job on the edge of that defense. Watch him force this back inside, and then you're able to clean it up there with Shadrick Banks.
So a quick 3rd and long for Will Howard. 4-receiver look. Frogs actively going to drop back and play coverage here. Howard has time, delivers a long throw, and the catch is made in the sidelines. First down to Phillip Brooks.
How about this throw? How about this throw to open the game? Left hash all the way to the far sideline. On a line, if that ball hangs in the air, it's out of bounds, and no chance for Brooks to bring that in. But he throws it with that kind of velocity and able to get the feet down for the first down. Great route as well.
Yeah, he's known for his precise routes. Very reliable receiver, Phillip Brooks. I'll pitch it to the edge, and that's the catch made by Cade Warner. Of course, the son of Kurt, he's trapped behind the line.
It was a good job there by the defense flying around. That time you saw Hodges Tomlinson just shot out of a gun there, getting upfield, didn't make the tackle, but affected the timing. Boy, Phillip Brooks that time, not just the route, but the awareness to know to go beyond that first down marker to be able to get that ball. So when he catches it, steps out of bounds, they get the first.
Vaughn on 2nd and 10 makes a cut and is knocked down. We don't see Johnny Hodges, one of the key members of this TCU defense, a transfer from Navy. The linebacker has been battling a hamstring injury.
Yeah, but we do see Banks step in for him. You and I were in Austin a few weeks ago and had this TCU team, and that night, if you remember, D. Winters, because of the week before, had an injury that he sustained, or actually was kicked out of the game before, so he had to sit out the first half. Banks stepped up that night and played really well. So I think even with the injury here tonight, I still think they feel good about Banks.
Need 5 on this 3rd down. Howard has protection, another long throw, and it's incomplete. Josh Newton was covering Malik Knowles. He did not work his way back to the sideline, and here comes the Wildcats punt team.
Good coverage, just not quite on the same page there. You know, usually early in the game, you're just kind of getting a feel for the speed and the tempo, what the defense is doing. Kansas State, even though they don't move the ball downfield, got to be happy with getting the ball in a position to be able to put TCU back with a good punt here.
Typically a pretty fast starting offense. They've scored touchdowns on 8 of their opening possessions this year. Ty Zettner's busy, handles the punting, the field goals, and the kickoffs. Tay Barber drips back and makes the catch at his 2-yard line, and is able to work his way back to the 8. A risky move. Lost track of where he was on the field. So Max Duggan and the Horned Frogs backed up for their first possession here in Arlington.
Game against Kansas State, 280 through the air, 3 touchdowns. Comes in with a lot of confidence and belief in these players around him and in this system in the first year.
And a strong running back to feature today, Kendra Miller, almost 1,300 yards. Picks up 3 in his first carry.
Well, we have 2 great backs tonight. You know, this conference has great running backs this year, and these 2 most certainly would be near the top. As much as these offenses can hurt you through the air with these quarterbacks, of course, it all starts with the line of scrimmage and being able to establish that run game.
Wildcats crowding the line. Duggan back, takes a downfield shot in the second play, and it's Johnson with an over-the-shoulder catch. Benton Johnston beat Julius Brents just like in the first meeting in Fort Worth.
Well, you got a safety in the middle of the field, creates a one-on-one opportunity on the outside. Linebackers are coming down against the potential threat of the run, get pressure on the quarterback, and how about this for your first throw of the game? And a matchup that we want to see, Brents against Johnston. Johnston at 6'4", Brents for a corner at 6'4".
53-yard gain brings the TCU fans alive. And now Miller bangs forward for about 4 yards.
Really not a chance to set up this one-on-one matchup. Pretty good coverage, but look at the ball. I mean, you could not draw it up any better for Duggan on where to put the ball on a go route out over the outside shoulder to allow Johnston to walk away or jog away there from Brents in coverage.
18th 50-plus yard play. He is a difference maker. Held out last week in the rout against Iowa State to be ready for today. 2nd and 7. Pass across the middle. Johnston again in traffic makes the catch a couple yards short of the marker.
This offense, what makes them so tough is they have so much speed and so much big play ability. Look at these 20 yards or longer plays this year. Leads the Big 12, 3rd most in the Big 12 on defense. This is just a team that understands how to hurt you downfield and make you have to respect that. You add that to the combination of this offensive line and Miller, man, they're a threat.
Fast guys and a very accurate deep thrower in Duggan, as you've already seen. 3rd and 3 from the pocket. He's going to go downfield again, and a battle in the end zone broken up. That was Savion Williams going up, and Brents was matched up over there.
Yeah,
and Boydo as well.
And again, Williams is a big target. It's 6'5", right? I think he drops his football instead of holding on to it. Boydo is beaten, never really finds the ball. Good job of adjusting. Everything's right. I think he was in such a rush with his eyes to look down to make sure his foot was in bounds that he lost focus on concentrating on finishing the play.
Going for it on 4th and 3. You see that a lot in this conference. Maury DiMercato is the back. A low snap for Duggan. Delivers across the middle and a catch for a 1st down. And it's Jaquarius Spivey, transfer from Mississippi State, big body guy.
Watch the eyes move the backer and create the space that he needs. Watch Duggan look to his right, look that linebacker off, come right back with a nice throw. Good tight coverage, eyes to the right, intentionally move that linebacker, and then a quick, decisive throw to get that 1st down.
First down from the 25. Duggan immediately straight back, and he can take off. He's an effective scrambler, can be a tough guy to tackle, but flying up to make the play is the safety, Josh Hayes, who slings him down at the line of scrimmage.
And they're mixing up some man, some zone. This time they're going to play zone. When you play zone, it allows those backers and safeties to keep their eye on the threat of a quarterback who's an athlete to run. So they know that he's taken off, and they are able to clean it up in a hurry. Great play there by Josh Hayes. The fans wanted horse collar, but Bill says up here, Bill is helping us out, says no, he was a good clean play.
Clean play. He grasped from over the shoulder. He did not go to the back and grab down.
Miller back in the game. He's got the football. And a 2nd and long run. He's knocked down at the 24. So 3rd down coming up. The K-State secondary playing shorthanded. You saw Hayes make the play moments ago. Kobe Savage, Sincere Mason, 2 key guys at that position out injured today.
Yeah, and I think what they're trying to do right now is be incredibly aggressive. Shooting backers, trying to hit some gaps. Everything that they can do right now to try to slow down this electrifying offense. To get him to 3rd down, this is a big play here early in this game.
The gain on this play could dictate whether or not Dykes again chooses to go for it on 4th down. Wildcats bring some pressure. Duggan under fire, delivers across the middle, and the catch is made. Another 1st down grab. That's Jared Wiley, the tight end who really hurt the Cats in the first matchup.
Just talked about the backers, right? They're bringing backers. Watch how calm Duggan stays. Sits in that pocket. I mean, you're talking about a lot of pressure there by Moore, but sits in there. And again, there's the accuracy. This is where Duggan has changed so much. As a guy that's played a lot of football, the game is slowed down. It allows him to make great decisions and great throws with accuracy.
From the pocket, plenty of time. And trying to make the catch while sitting on his back is Wiley, who had 5 catches and a crucial touchdown. The Cats better account for him today.
Big fella goes down,
yeah.
But look at this. It's like something you do in practice, but he's out here in front of, I don't know how many people, 80 or 90,000 people on national TV in a ho-hum little positive game there on 1st and 10 by the big man, 6'7", tight end, the transfer from Texas.
Empty backfield. DiMercado split far to the left. It's a run all the way. Duggan around the end. Lowers the shoulder. He's not a slider. He seems to invite contact. Boydo got in his way, but the ball's at the 3.
They put 4 receivers. See him up there at the top. 4 receivers moves a lot of defenders into the field. Back into the boundary where you have some numbers. And Chris, you say it. He's got the numbers, and then he's got a toughness about him where he knows that his safeties and corners are going to come up and hit him. And instead of running out of bounds or sliding, he just lowers the shoulder and gets a couple more yards.
Fewer rushing yards this year than in any year in his career, but he knows in a big game he's going to tote it, especially down here in the red zone.
Yeah, we met last night with Garrett Riley, and he even talked about the importance of having that QB threat, running the football, that +1 that puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
On 3rd and 1, Dykes was sprinting down the far sideline to call a timeout. Horned Frogs have driven 88 yards. We're backed up deep inside their 5-yard line. Now they have a 3rd and 1 here. And you got a 2-back look. Trent Battle and Miller flanking Duggan. It's a keeper. Battle with a lead block, and Duggan bangs down for a 1st and goal.
Great block by Ali, the center. Uses his leverage, gets the nose guard. Huggins turned. That's really where it started. And then he gets right behind the lead back there, Battle.
They are tough to deal with down in this position. They have plenty of options, and they got a quarterback who is unafraid to impose himself at the goal line. And you want to throw it to a big body receiver. There's like 3 of them out there.
There's just a lot of confusion here with the personnel groupings. Referees are stepped in to give Kansas State the time they need. Now you're going to get a timeout. It's the one thing with the play clock is if you make a change offensively, even if it's late like that, Kansas State has to be given time. Let's go back to that last play to get that 1st down on 3rd and short. And always love looking in the trenches. Watch this block right here, and it gives you an idea. He's not known for his overall athletic ability, but just by turning and using that leverage, he's able to create an opportunity with an angle. And then you get 17 leading the way. Makes it really easy for Duggan on 3rd and short. Almost got into the end zone.
This offensive line's impressive. Duggan did take a shot to the helmet there, but he's not afraid to pay the price. You got 2 6-year guys, you got a 5th-year guy, you got 2 other guys who are 3-year starters, so it's a veteran, graybeard offensive line in front of him.
And for people that are just watching TCU for the first time and they're saying, you know what, I want to check this team out. They got a chance to win the playoff, maybe get to play, maybe win the Big 12, get into the playoff. One thing you got to realize, remember, Sonny Dykes is in his first year, has had 5 games where they were trailing in the second half and had to find ways to win. If nothing else, you got to step back and tip your cap for the culture that he's been able to create here in this first year.
Miller the back. It's Barber in motion, and he's going to throw for it. And touchdown, TCU. Tay Barber came in motion, got back to the flat, and what a drive for Duggan and the Horned Frogs.
You know why he does that? You go to that motion is because watch the adjustment here by him moving into the inside. They have to, now you get a matchup you want. Now you got a little hesitation there in a matchup that you want. So pre-snap motion, you make the defense have to adjust. Now you have Barber, who's so quick with change of direction. And how about the throw by Duggan? Like a shortstop, just flipping it out there in the blink of an eye to give his guy a chance.
Griffin Kell, who has been heroic at times when needed this year, on for the straightforward PAT, and he knocks it through to the 53-yard downfield strike on their second play to Johnston. Sets up a grinding drive, almost 7 minutes, 92 yards and 13 plays. Horned Frogs draw first blood. All-State playoff predictor has never looked like this on Championship Saturday. The near certainty for Georgia, Michigan, and TCU reflected the fact that the algorithm doesn't think either of those teams needs to win to be in. Ohio State sending a big thank you to Kyle Whittingham in Utah.
Yeah, and I think TCU, in my opinion, could be right up there at a 99 themselves. And the big news last night, as you said, USC losing. Utah wins another conference championship out west and heads to the Rose Bowl and opens up a spot now.
Knowles receives it on a couple of hops here and manages to navigate out across the 20. Championship Saturday continues after our game on ABC. Tulane, a team that went on the road and beat Kansas State 17-10 in September, takes on the Golden Knights, and in primetime Clemson and the Tar Heels battle for the ACC championship.
Orange Bowl on the line there tonight. Interested to see in Charlotte which team responds, who can get ready to go. Both disappointing losses last week to rivals, and now playing for a conference championship. Just think what happened last night, all these other results last Saturday. If both of those teams win, they could have been playing potentially for a shot to get in to the playoff.
In the new 12-team format in 2 years, they will be
right
for a spot. So can the Cats respond here? Very delayed play, a slow developing play as Vaughn takes it and works his way to the right for a couple of yards. We mentioned the early loss to Tulane, but Kleiman has been rock solid, and they do it in some ways the Snyder way. They lead the conference in turnover margin.
Yeah.
A couple of big wins over Oklahoma, and they destroyed Oklahoma State. Shut them out when they were in the top 10.
They have firepower, but you're right. It still feels like Bill Snyder has his fingerprints on this team, and Kleiman's done such a good job of bringing that same approach. Field position, turnover margin, few penalties.
Well, it's time for Howard. He steps up and launches downfield, throws in a heavy coverage, and it's almost intercepted off the fingertips of the safety, Mark Perry, but he shows you the arm strength.
Well, and he's just late. You know, he's got a one-on-one matchup that you'll see, and I think the big thing that he feels that once he steps up, he's looking right here. He's got an open field, so he thinks, okay, I got a shot to take, but he's late, and the ball hangs. It allows the safety to come over. You have two defenders back there, almost like a fair catch. Kansas State catches a break that the ball's not picked.
Joe Gillespie, the defensive coordinator, hopes his guys can get off the field right here on 3rd and 8. Howard again has time, delivers into traffic, and it's broken up beautifully by Josh Newton, who came in front of Warner, and here comes the punt team again.
Well, he started on his right, kind of looking towards that wheel route. Watch 22, Vaughn down to see the quarterback looking, really can't find anybody open, and if he puts that ball over near the sideline, I think there's a chance that he converts with Cade Warner.
Howard just 2 for 5 and 8 yards in the early going, and Deuce Vaughn has been corralled in his first 4 carries. Zentner, not his best boot. It's going to bounce way in front of Barber and have it check up there. So TCU back to work, and our sports injury analyst Marty Jaramillo is keeping a close eye on the condition of Quentin Johnston and that ankle sprain for recent weeks. Talk about the injury, Marty, and why it's taken time to get him back in the lineup.
Yeah, Chris, this right ankle sprain has really lingered. Why? Because these injuries take time. And the ligament is actually partially torn and partially stretched. And he finally got the rest that he needed in the last 2 weeks, allowing the ligament to heal, scar up a bit, and actually regain a little bit of stability. That said, today he's well protected, allowing him to show off that speed, the agility, and how Kirk said in another last game, he has that elite little shake in the open field.
Saw it early, Marty. He's got the speed.
Miller bounces it, gets the edge. Kendre Miller deep into Kansas State territory. Knocked out by Cheatham inside the 40.
They pull around a couple offensive linemen, but watch the edge block there by Wiley. Great vision here by Miller to kick it. How about that? Quentin Johnston, we just talked about him with Marty with his health as a receiver downfield. You know, it's just kind of a screen, just kind of gets in the way, but it's enough to get Miller to the corner and pick up big yards.
Miller again. When they ground out that win in Austin, he badly outdueled Bijan Robinson, up to the challenge, knowing he's got Deuce Vaughn on the other side. A guy who always feels like he's underrated. He comes from a very small school here in Texas, a two-way school.
Yeah, and brings so much to this offense, over 100 yards a game. What's happening for me early in this game is you're going to get a good feel for the balance. These safeties are starting to creep down because they're having to respect Miller, and all that's going to do is create one-on-one shots downfield to Johnston and these receivers.
And Duggan makes a low throw. Darius Davis, the speedster, the return weapon, is in the neighborhood, but kind of a virtual throwaway there. It just wasn't open. By the way, that touchdown pass for Duggan, the 71st in his career, tying him with Andy Dalton, number 2 in TCU, behind Boykin, who's got the record.
Good job Garrett Riley has done with the play calling of this offense. We all know the job his brother Lincoln has done over the years, but man, Garrett's making a name for himself. Finalist for the Broyles as a top assistant coach.
Yeah, at age 33. He's 7 1/3. Duggan launching. Jordan Hudson goes up, jump ball broken up nicely. That was Boydo defending at the 2-yard line, and it's 4th down.
Well, you get man-to-man. We got a player down. You get man-to-man. Watch this safety have to run with a receiver. Now you know you got, once you see this safety clear out, oh, I got it. I got the shot that I want. We just said they're going to take these shots downfield. Pretty tight coverage there by Boydo.
He went down hard, and looks like that right shoulder. Kirk, they cannot afford more injuries in the secondary. We talked about how short-handed this crew is.
Yep.
You got dudes pressed into duty, playing a little bit out of position, and this is an early concern for this defense.
Yeah, ball is underthrown. Heck of an effort to try to come back and make the play by the true freshman Hudson. And you're right, he just didn't have time to get his hand down to protect himself. Really, a couple safeties already.
Saw a shot of Mason there, who's out.
Mason and Savage, the safeties are down.
These are two pretty healthy teams, except for the secondary of Kansas State. That's the one area in this ball game where they're very short-handed.
And let's face it, if you're going to make a run to a championship, health is a big part of it, not just in Big 12, but all over the country.
He's favoring that right shoulder as he gets up. Holly?
Well, guys, the athletic training staff right now doing a ton of tests with him to see if he has grip strength and if he can move that hand and grip well. He is moving his hand. He is gripping, but they're going to further evaluate him right now. But the initial diagnosis looks somewhat positive as he's able to move that arm.
Fingers crossed, Holly. Hopefully he'll be all right after he comes out of the tent.
Well, here's Griffin Kell, living his dream. Grew up a TCU fan. Both his parents are TCU grads. He, of course, was the hero with the sprint-on walk-off field goal against Baylor. He banged a 54-yarder last week against Iowa State. Now trying from 55 in these perfect kicking conditions.
It's a bomb. Let's see what he's got.
He was not getting through from this distance in warm-up. Starts and stays wide left. So Kell off target from 55, and the Horned Frogs' promising drive comes up empty.
It looked like it had plenty of distance. Looks like he hits it good. He just pulls it a bit to the left.
In the end around, this is Malik Knowles. Jet sweeps are a very effective weapon for the Cats. They average more than 14 yards when they jet sweep it.
It's because everybody packs in on Deuce Vaughn. Everybody worries about the way they run in the interior. So the way Colin Klein keeps him honest is he gets out on the edge by doing the jet sweeps. You see a lot of teams that do that don't have the prolific passing offenses. One of the wrinkles you throw in there just to make sure these defenses are going to get a little wider is run that jet sweep.
Howard launches downfield to Knowles, who catches it in stride, and suddenly the Cats are threatening at the 15. He beat Josh Newton.
He did, and he had man-to-man. Safeties up tight. Watch his safeties come up tight. We talked about that on the other side of the ball. But with safeties up tight, you know you've got a one-on-one chance. And you love to see the confidence that Klein has and going back to the hands of Will Howard and these receivers. And you get downfield one-on-one, Malik Knowles will make you pay for it.
What a turnaround. They stop, missed field goal, suddenly threatening to tie the game. In the flat, that's Phillip Brooks, who's going to be dragged down at the 14.
We said how would Colin Klein adjust, and it's attacking the edges. First couple series, trying to go to your wheelhouse and Deuce Vaughn. They'll get back to it, but it was a little crowded. TCU respected that all week. Joe Gillespie, the defense coordinator, said it starts with us stopping Deuce Vaughn in the run game. Now you've seen Colin Klein say, okay, we're going to get the ball outside. Try to make you respect that outside game, too.
2nd and 8. Howard has protection. End zone. Ooh, dangerous throw. Tracking across was the safety Perry, and it's 3rd down.
Wow, he thought he had, watch the safety here. He thinks it's a too high look, but the safety on the left here, Perry, watch how quickly he comes over. Bang, right now he knows he's thinking either separation from the football or an interception because he got there so quickly. Howard never saw him, and he caught a break.
Got there quickly. The hands a little bit late. It would have been a pick. Final minute of this first quarter. Cats need 8 on 3rd. Vaughn makes a cut and is knocked head over heels, somersaulting down to the 11, hit by Millard Bradford. So it's 4th and about 1.5 yards. Wow.
Back to the edges, and instead of Deuce Vaughn in the middle, good block on the perimeter. Sacrifice your body at 5'6". Full flip. Gets up, no problem. They're going to go for it here on 4th and short.
Howard under center. Vaughn lined up 6 yards deep. Gonna throw for it. Flip it in the flat. Catch made. Sennett leads. Touchdown. They snuck the tight end down. What a response by this Wildcat offense.
No doubt about it. Number one, you love the call and the decision to go for this. And I love the call from Colin Klein. Bringing Sennett from the right side where he is the play fake all the way to the left side. So often in the NFL and college, that receiver gets lost.
Sennett, a tough blocker. Not a very big dude. They don't feature the tight end a whole lot, but down near the goal line, a 4th down touchdown, and we're dead even with 15 seconds left in the quarter.
So you have the big tight end out into the corner. Here's kind of your H-back tight end, Sennett, who's just off the play fake, often gets kind of lost. You see the defensive edge to that. To me, just you kind of lose your edge there. The linebacker kind of gets caught up, just slightly hesitant, and then a really accurate throw. But it goes back to the decision to go for it. You're playing championship football. You're down early. You got to make a play. And Colin Klein's got to love to see that execution. Yes.
Heisman finalist in case they won the conference title in 2012. Different kind of offense when he was kind of grinding it out, bulldozing his way as a quarterback.
He was a great player.
Still the career touchdown scoring record holder at Kansas State. 63-yard drive in 6 plays. Yet it's more of a quick strike offense than you think. Yes, it feels at times like the Snyder era. Vaughn can grind it, but that 40-yard pass to Knowles was huge.
And I think that's the change, right? Once Martinez went out with the injury and Will Howard took over, that's the compliment to Deuce Vaughn. Their ability to strike downfield. And you know, Malik Knowles and Phillip Brooks get most of the attention, but when they get in the red area, you better keep an eye on those tight ends and fullbacks.
They try to keep it away from Darius Davis, who's got 6 returns for touchdown in his career, 5 of them with the punt. Zentner boots it so deep, but Davis is going to give it a go. Brings it out. goes right up the middle of the field and shows his speed. I think he caught the coverage team by surprise there. They'll set up at the 34-yard line. So Sonny Dykes comes over from SMU. He was an analyst under Gary Patterson here 5 years ago, but in his first year, 12-0, the first Big 12 coach to do that.
Yeah, been impressive to see. You know, in this era, transfer portal, you know, people talk about how quickly you can bring some players in and become competitive. That doesn't tell the whole story. It's what you do with your strength coach. It's what you do with the culture. It's what you do when you handle adversity. A team that came back 5 different times. So it's one thing to look at those numbers and say, well, he's having a great year. But if you watched him from week 1 to right now, it's been a fun story and a fun ride for Sonny Dykes and his team.
No doubt. Duggan keeps it again. It's more about re-energizing the guys who are already in Fort Worth than bringing in new guys.
Yeah, and he said early, he told us last night, the Oklahoma game was probably the point where they really bought into the new system.
Seven apiece as we start the second quarter of the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship game here on ABC. Touchdown apiece and an extra long field goal missed by TCU in the opening quarter. But Kirk, the Cats got away with one on the touchdown catch.
Look at Ben Sennett right here near side. See that flinch? Bill, what do you think of that? Should have been.
That's a false start.
Yeah.
He made a movement like this play was starting, and then all of a sudden he abruptly stopped.
Yeah.
Should have been called.
False start. And now 4th down, moving back 5 yards. Probably
correct.
kick a field goal. So a big miss there and gives TCU or gives Kansas State their touchdown.
And Sennett's the guy who went out in the pattern and caught that touchdown pass. Duggan looking to throw in first down, wasn't there, just drops it into the turf. Nobody open, and Eli Huggins brought the pressure.
And not only the pressure, but the defensive line took it away. They red screen all away and had 2 or 3 different Wildcat defenders out there, so just nowhere to go. Duggan just eats it, throws it away. So now you get a 3rd down, 3rd and long here.
Cats fans making noise. Empty backfield. Play clock at 4. Duggan has time, but nobody open, and now will launch downfield, and it's over the head of Savion Williams, who was open, but it's a quick 3 and out.
Well, watch, they're just going to rush the 3 here. You got a safety back to be able to help down that sideline. Good coverage. Obviously, with just rushing 3, he's got time. There's the safety back there. It would have been a tight squeeze to be able to get that ball in there. But he does try to get it in. Good job by the freshman Payne being there to help out.
Jordy Sandy, the Aussie who turns 30 in spring, is back to punt, and this time they did not miss the flinch on TCU. And back Sandy up 5 yards. You expect momentum swings and changes in games in this conference. The first meeting had a bunch of them.
Ball start. Offense number 27. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And we had one here. Duggan came out slinging the big play to Johnson. They were up 7-zip, and the Cats have clawed back, and we'll get the football back in the 7-7 game now. Sandy sends it away. Phillip Brooks retreating. It's a good boot at the 21. Tries to get the edge and is going to be ushered out on the far sideline.
Kansas State has really settled into this game on both sides of the ball.
Vaughn shows that power. He might be about 5'6", but he can drive the legs. Holly?
Well, the last quarterback to win the Big 12 championship for K-State was Colin Klein, and he's calling plays today, as you guys mentioned. I talked to him on the field before the game, and he said, my dad was a 35-year coach. Coach Snyder taught me well all the way I've come up, but he's built playbooks playing video games his whole life. Says, we're trying some things. We're going to innovate here, and he's excited about the future for Kansas State. 33 years old, one of the bright young callers in the game.
He recruited Will Howard, and Will said he brings a real calm presence. And he said he learned that from the Snyder era. Vaughn with a first down run now near midfield.
He's one of our favorites that we've watched play, and he played, even though he's a physical quarterback, he played with that same attitude, you know, that he has now as a coach. I'm sure it's a reflection of his dad and Bill Snyder.
Vaughn remains the first concern for any K-State opponent. He was held in check the first meeting pretty well by TCU. Off the play fake, Howard over the middle, has a man wide open, and that was Vaughn taking a big shot. It was off his hands, and then Miller Bradford delivered a hit, and here comes a flag where the tackle was made. So an opportunity to bring in Bill Lamagna and get his opinion on this.
Bradford hits him, lowers his shoulder. You wonder if Vaughn is looked at as a defenseless player there.
He is a defenseless player, and it appears that the left shoulder comes in with forcible contact to the head neck area. Now, the tough thing on this is the receiver's going down, but the rule doesn't allow for that. So he gets him with the shoulder, forcible contact, targeting.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 28. The previous player is out of further review.
Brad Van Bark is the replay official here in the Big 12. They call him Nook, but Miller Bradford is a key part of this defense.
He is. Plays a very versatile position. Bill, I want you to explain to the fan, you mentioned how he lowers. Vaughn starts to go down. The TCU fans saying, wait a second, he can't help that Vaughn went down.
I don't know about where that contact is from either guy. That looks like shoulder to shoulder.
Is it the follow through with that? It made it look forcible.
Seeing this last view,
Think it'll be
I don't like the targeting call.
Okay.
The first view or two, it looked like he got him with the shoulder right to the head.
Right.
But on these other views,
I can promise you Dykes doesn't like it either. We'll see if replay reverses this. It's a big moment early in the second quarter here.
It is. This is what they're trying to determine, what Bill's talking about. Watch him on that follow through with that elbow. I think that's what drew the flag. Made it look intentional, but Bill, it's to be a tough call.
If it's shoulder to shoulder, it's the forearm. Would you still call that forcible contact to the head of Vaughn?
No. The initial, I'm looking for that initial contact. That was shoulder to shoulder. Now, does he end up with some contact to the head? Yes, but that wasn't the initial contact that caused the blow. If that's all they called was the targeting, and they take the targeting away, there's absolutely no penalty.
Wiped.
It's wiped away. Now, if you called something else with it, it'd be different.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. It'll be second down.
So no targeting and no penalty. So the ball will be placed back in K-State territory at the 47.
How great is it again to have Bill up here to navigate through that? The rules are so complicated, and I think for fans at home, you know, we always get messages. We talk with officials. People at home don't understand it. So, Bill, we appreciate it.
I'm glad we have Bill. I'm even more glad we have replay, though, to fix that kind of thing.
Replay combined with Bill.
Well, I tell you, though, it fooled me on the initial hit.
That's
but
what
I thought the initial hit was targeting.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But we got it right. End of the day, we got it right. We move on. Here we go.
DJ Giddens spelling Vaughn, who was hit so hard there a minute ago. This is Warner on the edge, has a block. But a quick move up by Bradford, is relieved to be still in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they keep going back to the edge. You know, that's their adjustment. First couple drives, they weren't working the edges as much. In fact, not at all. And then these last couple drives, now getting the ball out there, not just to pick up some easy yards, but to be able to set up other aspects of their offense.
Two receivers stacked to the left on 3rd and 7. It's Knowles off to Howard's left. Howard's looking that direction, slant, and it's broken up nicely. Tried to squeeze it into Knowles, and Josh Newton said, 4th down.
Josh Newton has been a great compliment to Hodges Tomlinson. You look at the two corners together, and they are fantastic. You know, he's probably anticipating a move to the inside. You can see with Brooks there, it's almost like they're trying to set up a screen or a rub. But a great job by Newton being in position in tight coverage there on Malik Knowles.
Newton arrived this summer from Louisiana Monroe. You said a great compliment to Hodges Tomlinson, and he has been an important part of this defense. You love the corner tandem for the Horned Frogs.
Frees up that defense to take risks.
And the punt by Zentner, hit high with backspin, and he's going to check up and then finally be down at the 7-yard line. So Horned Frogs take over in this tie game, backed up inside their own 10.
Well, TCU got off to a great start here initially. Took a shot downfield to their go-to guy, Quentin Johnston. Made a big play. Set up eventually his 4th and 2. Look off the linebacker. First down. And then to finish off that drive, great job of recognizing man-to-man. They get the switch by the DBs, and they get the touchdown to Barber. So the last 5 plays, 0 yards.
After a hot start, Duggan was 6 for 7. He's missed 4 in a row. Last time they started at the 8-yard line was that grinding 13-play touchdown drive. Duggan took a look, escapes on the edge and finds a man and zips it off there to Savion Williams.
You know, one of the shots they took downfield before they settled for a field goal that they missed was to Boyd downfield, and Boydo defended. He hurt his shoulder. He went out of the game. We had seen 35 Keenan Garber, who usually wears 1. He's wearing 35 today. He's now out. Now we got true freshman Jacob Parrish. So got somewhat of a situation developing there at corner for Kansas State.
A lot of big bodies to defend in this TCU passing attack. Miller on the delay just jumps over 2 men. There was a potential tackler and a blocker. He hopped both of them, and the play is made at the line of scrimmage.
How about you got a pulling guard, and how about a corner? This is a corner right here. Watch the guard come around and watch what happens to the guard lands when he comes around against a corner. Bang! Blows that play up. Sacrifice your body as a corner to make that no gain. Great play.
Sets up a 3rd and 3. Duggan has time. Slant incomplete. He was trying to find Johnston. That was Brent's in coverage, and the K-State defense holds and should get good field position for the offense.
How about Julius Brent's back-to-back plays? He was the guy who I just circled as a corner. Makes a good play against the run. Comes right back against their top receiver. We talked about this being the matchup. 6'4" against 6'4". How many 6'4" corners are there anymore in college football? That might be the only one in the country, but showing he's got not just the toughness, but the range and speed to stay with Johnston.
That size is handy. There's 2 6'5" receivers. Johnston's 6'4". The tight end Wiley's 6'7".
Yeah, he's got a big job today.
So timeout taken. TCU spending the last 1.5 here to avoid having the punter backed up 5 more yards. But back-to-back 3 and outs for Dyke's offense. K-State back to work when you come back here. This defense has done its job. Back-to-back possessions for the Horned Frogs' high-powered offense, and you can see Klein's at work plotting the next series.
Done a good job of adjusting so far.
Sandy collects the low snap. It's a pretty high boot away, and a fair catch signaled back at the 40-yard line. Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway is coming up. See it featured throughout championship Saturday. A couple of students battle for that life-changing $100,000 in tuition. You're a fan of the chess pass is normally the strong strategy. You have to kind of swallow some pride and execute.
Yeah, it depends on the candidate. Depends on the candidate who's out there.
That's non-committal analysis from you on this strategy.
I give you an evaluation once I see who the candidates are.
Okay.
First guessing before the first throw, I could help you.
All right. Look forward to the halftime analysis. Another one of those jet sweeps to Knowles, and another successful play. Malik Knowles is free. Stiff arm. They still can't get him down all the way to the red zone. What a weapon.
How about the blocks? Anytime you see a big run like this, you're going to see great blocks. Right tackle Duffy. Good job by Sennett. Nice job by Phillip Brooks. And this is the difference, I think, in Knowles and what we've seen from him this year. That next level of becoming a physical runner when he gets the ball. He used to not have that same kind of explosive physical running style.
Howard steps back on first down, launches to the end zone, caught made at the 2-yard line. That was Vaughn who snuck out, takes the football away from Perry, and it's 1st and goal.
You go empty, and you put your running back out here to show you what he can do at 5'6". Open to the middle of the field. Nice job of stepping away from pressure and a great throw.
And on tempo, walking into the end zone is Will Howard. Colin Klein was all over that drive. The jet sweep, the big throw to the running back, and the quarterback just walks in, and the Cats have the lead.
Put a star next to that one with Colin Klein. You're right about that. 3 plays. That jet sweep got the momentum going. A heck of a job of moving Deuce Vaughn out to receiver to show you his versatility. And the defense has really, they're sat back on their heels in that 3rd play. You don't see that very often. Howard pulls it and walks in.
He's a big body quarterback, 6'5", 235, running not a huge part of his game, but he's tough to tackle down in the red zone there, and has scored for the 3rd time on the ground. And Chris Kleiman's team from 7 down to 7 up early 2nd quarter. K-State can strike quickly. That's their 20th touchdown drive of the season in fewer than 5 plays. They have the lead.
You're right, though. The perception is that it's Bill Snyder, and it's tough, it's running the ball. But, man, they can score in a hurry.
Darius Davis in his end zone. This TCU offense came out firing. Big play by Duggan to Johnston early, set up the touchdown, but back-to-back 3-and-outs suddenly. Davis is going to drift back. He's not afraid to bring it out, and will. Hurdles some traffic, still fighting, and knocked down across the 20.
5th, maybe? Ohio State, I think, jumped from 6 to 4.
They did. Miller on a 1st down carry still has this balance and has a 1st down to the 35 where Josh Hayes grabbed him.
Really nice job up front. Avila, Ali, left guard and center, combination block, opens up. Wiley pulling around. Good execution, best play we've seen in the last few drives to start this drive.
Duggan the 1st down throw over the middle. It was over the head of Tate Barber. He had the small receiver running free out of the slot.
Watch this. I mean, sometimes it's not necessarily getting the sack, but it's applying enough pressure to make Duggan feel like he needs to rush his throw. He knew that he had to get rid of that. Affects his accuracy. He makes that throw. If there's protection here and Mott doesn't come after him that quickly, he's able to take maybe one more hitch and put that ball right on the money. TCU misses a golden opportunity there.
A couple of natives of Iowa colliding there. Duggan and Mott. So off that missed chance. 2nd and 10. Cats twisting up front. Duggan backpedals and delivers incomplete. It was a hot bullet across the middle for Spivey. Jacob Parrish, the true freshman, pressed into duty, was in coverage.
And a nice job by Josh Hayes. I'll tell you, this is a sophisticated defense. Hayes just kind of sitting, comes off of the receiver he had in coverage, eyes on that quarterback, and he's able to help out in coverage.
This defense really struggled a couple of years ago. Then they shifted to this 3-5 or 3-3-5, and it's been a huge improvement the last couple of years. Cats fans are roaring now. 3rd and 10 for Duggan, and the play clock, they don't have a timeout. They have used all their timeouts in the 1st half. Just gets it snapped before the flag. Steps up. Can he get there with his legs? No. He's going to be stopped short. Tackled by Daniel Green, and this Wildcat defense with another stop.
Chris, I think you bring up a great point. Watch Tay Barber. Look at him. The play clock's down to 4, down to 3. Barber's still sitting there trying to get what? So that affected the timing. They couldn't use the timeout. receivers not on the same page. He snapped that ball, and his receivers really weren't sure. They didn't have confirmation on what the routes were.
This TCU offense looking very unsettled. Credit K-State's defense. You just have not seen this a lot for the Horned Frogs on offense this year. And Sandy's punt fair caught at the 24-yard line.
Came in together same year, 1996. We'll miss him dearly.
Vaughn works his way up the left edge and just scampers for a first down.
Boy, great execution up front. Look at this. The left guard that time, Beebe, just kind of acts like he's pulling and comes back the other way.
He did step out short of the marker. I thought he was going to make the 35. They spot him back at the 32. They fake it to him. Down the middle, Howard launches, and it's his turn to overthrow a wide open receiver, and that was Cade Warner.
Well, they keep walking these safeties down. They keep giving you these shots. Look at the safeties. Two of the tight ends are going to go to the outside here. Cade Warner works from the outside to the inside, and he gets a one-on-one matchup with a flat-footed safety and got behind him in a hurry. Bradford not really anticipating Cade Warner coming from the outside to the inside. They had the matchup they wanted. Took a shot there on second and short.
Cats just 1 of 5 on third down. They need 2. Howard wants to throw for it, and he does. As Warner settling in and making a catch to the 38. Ollie?
Guys, this is a big development right now. Malik Knowles, who on the last series we saw have that big long catch down the sideline, he got up from that awkwardly and limped back onto the sideline. Right now he's sitting there being consoled by people. I've not seen athletic trainers talking to him, but It doesn't look like he'll be able to return. They don't give injury updates, so I'll try to keep you posted with what I'm observing, but this does not look good.
Wow, Holly, that's tough.
When teammates come over and hug you, it's a nice moment, but it's not a good sign.
No.
He comes from 15 minutes away from AT&T Stadium in Mansfield, Texas. You've seen him make the big play as a receiver and a runner. He's also a leader of this offense.
You know, we talked about, I don't know if anybody's improved more from last year to this year than Malik Knowles with what he does with the ball after the catch. We just talked about on that jet sweep, how physical of a runner he's become. Now Cade Warner, who's been in that third receiver more in the slot, now you're going to see him have to be the guy, Kurt Warner's son, opposite of Phillip Brooks.
This is Brooks who comes in motion. Handed off inside, and it's DJ Giddens plowing ahead. A physical back. Good compliment to Deuce Vaughn, and it'll be third and short again.
Yeah, and I think we saw Deuce Vaughn line up at receiver. I think you'll probably potentially see a little bit more of that. We've got a player down for Kansas State.
Looks like it's KT Leviston, the starting left tackle. Injuries beginning to pile up for the Cats, who lead by 7. 6:44 to play before halftime. The AT&T 5G Skycam, and featured in the Taco Bell Live Más student section is the Hypnotoad. Lifted from the show Futurama like 20 years ago. It was used at basketball games, and it has been known to turn games around. Sunday Dyke says it has magical, mystical powers when it ever appears. It's trippy.
I think Max Duggan has mystical powers. Or at least he has.
You're not buying the Hypnotoad syndrome?
No.
Well, Dykes wants his defense to get a stop here. 3rd and 2. It's Giddens, and he's got the first down. Big fella banging off the left side into Horned Frogs territory before D. Winters got him to the ground.
They've moved Beebe now out here, and watch the job. You got to move some people around with that injury. He's now playing tackle, and they run right behind that left side. Phil Forge is in now at guard, so they move Beebe, who's Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year. They move him out to tackle to show you the versatility he has.
He's their best offensive lineman. Hasn't allowed a single sack all year. You're about to see his versatility. Fresh set of downs. And a feed. Giddens again. It's a definite change of pace. He just runs downhill for 6.
Again, right behind that left side. Leviston goes out, and hopefully he's able to come back. In the meantime, they're trying to hold it down on the left side. A little double team this time. 19, Sammy Wheeler helps out. There's Sennett. Oh, just the old school, good sound, sustaining blocks, hat on a hat, positive yards on 1st and 10.
Howard checks with the sidelines, motions Warner back in, and has immediate pressure, and he'll be dropped. Sacked by Dylan Horton, one of the better pass rushers on this team. Transfer from New Mexico.
Great discipline. They've been running over here, right? Running. Now you're going to test the discipline on the backside. Howard is athletic enough to do this. Kind of flashes the fake. Love to see a little bit more of a commitment from Howard to really sell that, to try to bring Horton down, but they don't do it.
Horton by far the most quarterback pressures on this team. Now 5.5 sacks on the season. He needs 7 on this 3rd down. Vaughn motions all the way to the right side. Horned Frogs bring late, pressure ball out quickly. Warner in traffic, works free and fights near the marker. Looked like a very short gain. He somehow slipped away. It'll be 4th and about a yard. Got away from Caleb Fox.
Yeah, great job. Some nifty moves there by Cade Warner. It's what has to happen with Malik Knowles down. You got to get behind those linemen. In this case, he's got to make some people miss, and gives them a real chance here with that effort on 4th down and short.
Lyman keeps the offense out there. 6 offensive linemen. Christian Moore is the fullback in front of Deuce Vaughn. Vaughn, heavy traffic, not going to get there. The Frogs clog the middle and get a crucial stop. That was Caleb Fox and company. Shad Banks in there as well.
Well, Hodge getting down in a hurry helps, but really let's start right here. Inside penetration allows the linebackers then to clean it up. Watch him be able to blow that up. And then you see the linebackers, because it's 4th and short, they do such a good job of attacking downhill. Jamoy Hodge right there, but give an assist to Dylan Horton with the penetration.
That's the play that TCU needed by the defense to hopefully spark this offense. K-State has controlled the line of scrimmage and pressured Duggan.
And that stop gives Duggan and this offense that's been struggling really good field position.
You got 2 true freshman DBs in there for K-State trying to stop this receiving core. Duggan delivers a long throw. Johnston is left alone, and he's wide open. Ball's out on the ground, and K-State's made the recovery. Austin Moore recovers it. The first turnover of the game is a huge one. Snuffs out the threat.
Boy, Kansas State right on cue with you saying they've got some freshmen. Brents, who comes back and strips it loose. He busts on coverage. Johnston, of all people, out in the flat all by himself. They're trying to catch up to him. And Brents ends up making another play to get that ball out and get the ball back to the Cats.
Austin Moore just around the football. He's the top tackler on this defense. He's got a pick. And that's yet another Wildcat DB, the safety Josh Hayes, who's down being checked out by the athletic training staff.
Chris, watch Brent's here. He's had such a great night. Johnston's across from him. Watch him for whatever reason. He's following the inside receiver. Nobody has Johnston. So it's a bust. Big gain for TCU. And then he comes back and knocks the ball loose.
Kansas State proven to be just as tough as most people expected in this game. Hayes up and walking around.
Great to see him up. By the way, 70 KT. Leviston is back in. So we saw DeForge come in. Beebe moved to left tackle. Now you see 50 going back to the inside with Leviston back in this lineup. But a good job of holding up while he was out.
We wondered. TCU rarely turns the ball over. Only the 9th giveaway this season. K-State's good at taking the ball away, and they have the first turnover as Vaughn gets ahead for 4.
Does he remind you of Darren Sproles? I mean, Darren Sproles in the NFL got really strong and physical, but in college, you know, both right around the same body shape. Sproles was such a great player. You go back to his days at Kansas State.
Johnston hugging that football.
Hold on to that ball.
Yeah, I mean, we talked, Holly mentioned what an instrumental force Sproles was in inspiring and motivating
Vaughn. Awesome.
No hurry here. 3 timeouts for the Wildcats. 3:15 to work with. Vaughn cannot spin free. Dropped at the line of scrimmage there by Caleb Fox. Holly?
Well, you talk about the strength numbers for Darren Sproles. Let me show you what Deuce Vaughn is throwing up. I talked to him this week, and he said he was able to bench 225 17 times before they stopped him. He could have done more, but they were being smart. He also squats 475 12 times, and he's done 480 10 times. This is a small package with incredible strength, guys, and you see it show up on the field.
That's incredible.
I just love his preparation, too. He's got a notebook. He charts and scouts every opposing linebacker and safety like a pro, right?
Yeah.
They need 6 on 3rd. Howard looks to his left and now will launch downfield. It's Warner wide open. Comes back and collects it at the 30. Mark Perry beaten deep.
Well, the motion affected the communication on the back end of this defense. Look how Warner puts that left hand up. Nobody has it. Nobody in the back end. Mark Perry lost him because of the motion, unsure to take him. And what an effort by Warner. They may take a peek at this. Ball is underthrown. Heck of an adjustment. He's in the air, gets the left hand to secure it. I don't know if that ball ever touched the surface.
That angle didn't show as much. That angle does show the tip of the football appear to touch the ground. Did he have
should be a
total
good one right
control?
Here. This is your shot right here. I don't know. Did it touch? What, Bill's waving it off. He's got his arms out here clearing it.
This is the key moment right here. Warner doesn't have firm control of the ball yet, and it hits the ground
right there. Right there.
And TCU fans are confident it's going to take it up.
They're seeing the exact same shot that we saw
on the biggest screen in the world overhead here at AT&T. This is a massive review. Replay's already played a big role in this first half. Instead of first down to the 30, it would be 4th and 6, and TCU would get the football back with 2:17 to work with.
Busting coverage, underthrown ball. Got it out a little late. Warner adjusts so well back to it. Made a heck of an effort just to be able to secure it. But you can see in the replay that the ball did hit the surface.
Yeah, we'll see an incomplete pass come out of this. It was a heck of an effort.
It really was.
I really thought he had the ball at first.
Yeah.
But that ball's loose. It's touching the ground.
Do you ever hate to wave one off when the guy makes a heck of an effort? Or is it just all about the
theory is if you don't see, if you got a ball that's near the ground, the philosophy is if you haven't seen it touch the ground, you leave it alone for a catch. The official on the outside can't see through him, so he can't see the ball.
Yeah.
Are you asking if the officials are sentimental?
Right now he's got his headphones on. He's looking. He's like, boy, 85. What an effort. But you know what? Yeah, it touched. You never think great effort. Maybe we'll give him a break. That never crosses your mind, right?
Doesn't cross my mind, but boy, I feel bad for him now.
And they're right. Warner is craning his neck from the field. You got to look almost straight up to see the screen. But I think he knows that this catch is going to come off the board here. And it's going to be a punting situation for the Cats, who had a real chance, had that call stood up, to build this lead.
After further review, it was an incomplete pass. And it was 4th down from the 35.5-yard line.
So we'll see if Max Duggan, strong Heisman contender, can get this offense going. After a very fast start, he was 6 for 7. Now 8 for 16 in the first half. Does have the short touchdown throw. But K-State's done a tremendous job of mixing things up. It's a confusing defense to face, isn't it?
It is. Remember, they busted on that last play. They caught a break with the effort there by Brents to knock it loose. And you mentioned they got a couple young players out there, so long way to go, as we know with TCU.
Barber. No fair catch, and he's hit immediately at the 20-yard line. Nice weather conditions. Both these teams have had to deal with their share of poor weather in the Big 12 down the stretch. 72 degrees under the roof here. So we'll see what Duggan can do. DiMercato is the back. He's got the ball. And he'll pick up about 3. Again, they've spent all of their timeouts already, so time could be a factor in this possession.
Well, you see a little bit more tempo here out of Duggan, who's very comfortable, obviously, in this kind of situation. No timeouts. Keep that in mind here.
Off the play fake, delivers in space, and the catch is made by Darius Davis, and the speedster knocked down at the 45, and here comes the tempo.
And here comes the tempo. A really good job of going from pre-snap to post-snap read. The safeties moved on him. He stuck with it, found the opening, and made an accurate throw.
22-yard pickup for his first catch now. Ball out quickly again. And a hard hit delivered to Barber, who picks up 9.
Time and time again, you get into these situations where the defense gets on their heels, the offense is aggressive, quarterback no time to think. A lot of times you find that quarterback relocate that rhythm.
Second and short, busting loose is DiMercato, rumbling deep into K-State territory.
They're blitzing those backers, and they got picked up by Brandon Coleman, the left tackle. Nobody left once he broke through that initial surge.
DiMercato, a guy who did not practice yesterday, but looks pretty good today. Looks healthy.
There's some energy. He wants to. He knows the importance right here of trying to get points on the board. Let's go look at a couple of these plays since we were in a hurry. You watch. He reads the safety. He's got to make a throw up and over the backer, which was a great catch. Great concentration there by Davis. They come right back. But to get this run, the left tackle 77 opens that up by picking up that blitzing linebacker, and good to see DiMercato out there. I know you went out to practice and mentioned he may not be okay. We met with the coaches last night, and they thought he'll be able to help out Miller, give him that tandem that they've had most of this year.
He had the red jersey on, the no contact jersey, but they were just kind of holding him out.
Yep, little precaution just to make sure he's good to go.
So Max Duggan and the Horned Frogs, as we've talked about, very comfortable coming from behind in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to potentially get even here before the break.
Get a 2-for-1. They get the ball to start that second half, as we talked about.
This was very important in the first meeting. They scored late in the second quarter, early in the third quarter against the Wildcats to stretch the lead. Duggan has a lot of time now, looking to scramble, and he'll get the edge and scoot out of bounds at the 26. Picked up about 5.
Really good tight coverage downfield. He's looking to get the ball to Johnston. Brent's had him locked down, but there's his athletic ability. Instead of just throwing it away, at least able to get positive yards and also get out of bounds. And for him, it's about incompletions and getting out of bounds and first downs without those timeouts.
Johnston off to his left. Duggan across the middle. And
clock will move here on it.
Catch by Wiley, had no timeouts, so that short gain will make it 3rd and about 3. No pressure. Sideline route. Incomplete. Darius Davis was stretched, and now it's 4th and 3. And a decision for Dykes. Does he take the 3 here? And we'll go for it on 4th and 3. Offense on the field for the moment.
Well, I think because now they're going to take the points. Waited, thought about it. Knows that still 30 minutes to go in this game with a team that's come back 5 different times, trailing in the second half. Playing for the long haul here and trying to get the 3 points.
And the play clock winding down. Kell from 42, missed earlier from 55, and drills this one straight through. So TCU able to trim the lead to 4 before halftime, and as you said, they'll put the offense back on the field. But K-State, just a tough out, man. They don't beat themselves. You know, they haven't had a turnover. They haven't had a penalty. I mean, they do not make it easy for the opposition.
Yeah, and somewhere Bill Snyder's watching this game, and he's very proud because that's what he built over the years in Manhattan, Kansas. And, you know, the fact they played each other once makes, I think, an interesting next 30 minutes to see who wins the championship.
Dykes wondered if that would give extra determination for his opponents. Almost tough to beat a solid team twice. Campus of TCU, 18-20 miles away up there in Fort Worth. Goodyear providing the aerial coverage. Road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven.
Malik Knowles is such a loss for this offense. Not only their go-to guy and their alpha and their big playability on the perimeter. Cade Warner is more than capable, but when they go 3 receivers, they put Cade in the inside and have Knowles and Brooks on the outside. Now it's a different feel without number 4 out there.
Howard not looking to sit in the lead here. He's going to take off and scramble. Wildcat's got a couple of timeouts. Should place an even higher importance on the contributions of Deuce Vaughn as a runner and a receiver in the second half.
Yeah, now obviously running the ball, and they do throw it to him, but I think you may see some adjustments once they have time to be able to look at things at halftime, get him either motioned out of the backfield into that slot or even line up out there just to help out potentially being a receiver because of how dangerous he is after the catch.
See if Howard's going to take a shot. Now he's got to elude pressure and he'll be sacked. Dylan Horton after him again, and that should do it for the first half. You got a good one. TCU trying to maintain that perfect record. As you said, stamped themselves as the 3 seed in this college football playoff at worst. But the Purple Cats of Manhattan, tough customers. And they lead 14-10 at halftime here in Arlington. Coming up, the Capital One halftime report. Kevin Negandhi, Booger McFarland, and Dan Mullen right after these messages. Championship Saturday.
And now the stage is set here in these last 30 minutes with the championship on the line.
Zentner's boot deep into the end zone. Davis going to bring it out again. Darius Davis a lot of belief in himself, but that's great coverage. And the tackle is made inside the 20-yard line there by Dylan Bequeath. Here's our Dr. Pepper Spotlight, one of the edge matchups here.
Yeah, Johnston against Brents. Great length. We talked about this early. Johnston's able to make a play. Brents has held his own. He's been out there one-on-one. Here he busts in coverage. TCU looks like they got a chance to make a big play. Johnston's down the sideline, and Brents, after the bust, comes back and knocks the ball loose. Kansas State recovers. So it's been that kind of matchup, and you just have that feeling that that matchup will continue and ultimately could decide who ends up winning this game.
And they get Kendre Miller loose. TCU's MO coming from behind. They would laugh at this 4-point deficit. No big deal, says Max Duggan. He knew it was going to be tough, but he said, we like it tough.
It's almost like it's part of their game plan. Okay, we'll be down at halftime, and now we go.
Miller had a 21-yarder in the first half. Also had a 14-yard gain, but only 10 yards on his other 7 carries. They've contained him.
Yeah, and it does look like you'll see a little bit of tempo here, but how much do you think Chris Kleiman's been challenging his team on? Their second half team. Hey, guys, have you heard that they're a second half team? Have you heard they have 5 comebacks in the second half? Really making sure this team understands to play a full 60.
They saw it firsthand in Fort Worth.
Yep.
28-zip TCU after trailing 28-10. But a different kind of game, far fewer explosive plays. Duggan looking to create one here, launches it downfield, and again, no chance for Davis to make a play. A lot of these deep shots have been overthrown by both quarterbacks. Hayes was in coverage.
Walking those linebackers up, trying to create one-on-one for the pass protection. Almost able to get there with Brendan Mott. And good coverage downfield that time by Josh Hayes.
Talked about the struggles on 3rd down. It's tough against this defense when you need 9. Duggan scrambling. And the ball is knocked loose and recovered in the end zone by TCU. Safety signaled. Brandon Coleman.
Chris, that ball, as he was getting ready to throw the ball, it looked like Justin Moore, 41, man, knocked that ball out of his hands before his hands started to come forward. Watch 41 right there. He starts to scramble. He shoots, gets into the backfield, and for some reason when he went in the air, he stopped. Looked like Bill, to me, stopped moving his arm forward to throw the ball. Kind of froze there.
The previous play is under further review. Ruling on the field, there was a fumble recovered in the end zone for a safety.
I agree with you.
It kind of stopped.
I don't know why, but it
yeah, it must have been coverage or whatever it was, but something made him go from looking like he was about to release the ball to just holding it.
Will Brad Van Vark, the replay official, Bill, think about the quarterback's intent on the play there?
No, intent won't matter. Did the hand start forward with control?
Watch these backers. Good job. You'll see 41 all the way. He's in coverage, comes off of it, and then it looks like it's hard to see if he stopped. The tighter look, Bill.
Well, the defender is up, and he's actually hitting the front of that ball
right
while he's got it up there. So that's causing him to stop his throwing motion.
Austin Moore says, forget knocking the pass down. I'm going to reach out and get it out of the quarterback's hand. And Moore was the guy who recovered the fumble in the first half by Johnson, causes this one.
That ball's out for his hand, to me, before the hand's coming forward.
I think the officials on the field, the referee has a correct call that it was a fumble. It's in the end zone. It's a safety.
So this is going to be not officially a takeaway, but a fumble recovery for a safety. But this Kansas State defense has been the story of this football game so far.
And how fitting it would be if Justin Moore ends up, this play holds up. He's had such a big year for the Cats defense.
Nasty gash, by the way, in the right forearm of Duggan. It's tough for these guys who were considered Heisman finalists. I mean, Caleb Williams bleeding and limping at the end of the night. Duggan, many believe the door would be open for him, if not to win it, but certainly to get to New York as a finalist. And now he's struggling and bleeding out there.
Right. Well, by the way, he looked left. Duggan looked left at the beginning of that play and had a switch release, and Kansas State immediately adjusted the coverage, and that's why he had to start to scramble. It was really good coverage and communication on the back end of that defense.
The key thing for replay here, if the hand is moving forward, even with the ball in it, then it could be considered a forward pass.
After further review, the passer's hand was going forward. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass.
Wow.
It'll be fourth down.
So, Bill, you're on it. That was a tough decision. I think you're right. Duggan intended to hold on to the ball, but just maybe slightly moving forward.
I guess. I mean, they must have seen enough in the replay, but to me, I thought Moore got his hands on that ball before his hand and arm could come forward.
So still a 4-point game. Third 3-and-out for the Horned Frog offense, and Sandy will try to get a boot out and not allow the Wildcats to have good field position. And the Aussie does boot it deep. Brooks retreats and makes a fair catch. Had some space, but fair caught at the 36. Holly, what do you have?
Well, Coach Kleiman updated a couple of injuries for Kansas State. Malik Knowles is not able to return, nor is their cornerback, Guido. So that is a big blow. But he said, we're doing a good job getting some explosives, but there's some that we missed. We think we can get behind that defense. We have to do a better job doing it. And then for Sonny Dykes, he said they are doing a great job mixing coverages. They've made it difficult for Max Duggan with all of that mix-up in the backfield. And what we're seeing, we have to do a better job of running the football on first down so that first and second down are more productive, and third down is not so long for TCU right now.
That's exactly the pattern, Holly, that held in the Frogs' first possession of this third quarter, 3rd and long. So from the 37, another one of those jet sweeps. They use Phillip Brooks. He's filling in for a man who normally does that job well. Knowles.
The show must go on, right? I mean, that's part of the plan. It's what they had some success with, some big plays with Malik Knowles, and now that he's out, right behind that upright, there he is right there. Now you've got Phillip Brooks, who's got to pick up. Yeah, he's got to pick up the slack.
At 4 in first down. Baker to Vaughn. Howard delivers a long throw. Warner comes back to make the catch and stretches for a first down in midfield.
Good job saying he came back. It's exactly what he did to give him that first down. This is the entry to their go-to man, Malik Knowles. He rolled up on that and just unable to come back. he could tell right away that he had to check out, and he very frustrated. The emotions pretty clear. He wants to be out there with his team, trying to win this championship.
He's playing in his backyard, trying to put on a smile here. Had a 40-yard catch and a 40-yard run in the first half. Play action on first down. Howard looks down the seam and finds Sinnott. And that tight end has scored the touchdown earlier, rumbling into Horned Frogs territory.
Well,
25.
Chris, they showed Chet sweep look again with Vaughn. Watch the backers' reaction. Sennett's able to sneak out of there right behind them. Nice seam route. Good job of affecting the eyes with that same look, this time with Deuce Vaughn.
Got 26, and now the Cats crank some tempo. Howard looking to throw again, and first down. Launches to the end zone. Jump ball, touchdown. R.J. Garcia with his first touchdown of the season. Filling in for their fallen star, and the Cats are stretching the lead.
How about this quad look into the boundary? You're going to go with 4 receivers here, and look on the back end. Look how we got 4, coach. We got 4 receivers into the boundary. What do we do here? Not quite on the same page. Great route to the inside by R.J. Garcia. Great job of putting that formation in to create the confusion and the hesitation.
Rolling on the field is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 26. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. That is number 26's first unsportsmanlike foul of the game.
So Bud Clark flagged, but you saw the wrinkle, that diamond formation there. Yeah. And R.J. Garcia, redshirt freshman at Land O'Lakes, Florida, just his 6th catch of the season, the first tug.
Yeah, great job. And again, you need people to step up. This time it's R.J. Garcia. Bud Clark took a swing. It's Sinnott after that touchdown.
So here's what happened at the end of play. That'll affect the kickoff.
Right here on your left.
Lucky to still be in the game.
No doubt.
TCU down 11 early third.
I love to see this. R.J. Garcia, look at these players fired up. And there's Malik Knowles. Malik Knowles is out of this game. Somebody's got to step up. R.J. Garcia takes advantage of it. See the coaches coming over to talk to him. It's a guy that just made his 6th catch of the season as a redshirt freshman. Your star receiver goes down, and Knowles, others have to step up. It's great to see number 3 get his chance and take advantage of it.
Along the ground here to keep it away from Davis. Picked up and run back to the 33-yard line there. It's V Week at ESPN. We partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives. Join the fight at v.org/donate. Talked about the deficits the TCU has overcome, but now it's double digits, and they're facing an opponent that's feeling it both offensively and defensively. Safety taken off the board, Kirk, by the replay, but then they go 62 yards in 4 plays, about a minute and a half. 2-back look. And ball handed off inside. It's Miller. He has not been able to bust loose today. The Cats have been focused on stopping number 33.
They're doing a good job of setting the edge. That time, Khalid Duke, good job, 29, getting to the outside. These linebackers are getting downhill in a hurry. At some point, you know, whether it's Johnston or Barber, Davis, your playmakers at receiver and Max Duggan are going to have to emerge and make plays.
And they run it on 2nd and 7. And it's going to be another one of those 3rd and longs as Daniel Green drags Miller down.
Yeah, just tough to get outside.
And they keep falling into the same trap, needing 7 to convert this to avoid giving the football right back to the Wildcats.
His defense is flying around with some confidence right now, Chris.
Mercado is the back. Duggan facing some pressure. He'll be sacked. And Aduke Uzoma came around the edge, and the top sack man in this conference knocks him down, and the Cats get off the field again.
Well, because of pressure, inside pressure. You get one-on-one off the edge. And how many times have you seen that this year? The confidence that he plays with, the ability to win with the bend and the quickness. And when you get into an obvious passing situation in these 3rd and longs, that's when you turn your pass rushers loose.
Felix the Wildcat and Adike Uzoma, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, makes a big play. First sack of Duggan. And the punt is now muffed. A scramble for it. TCU's got it. Oh, my goodness. Just when the Cats seem to have everything going their way, the punt is muffed. And Battle has come up with it. The backup running back downfield to collect it.
This is unlike Kansas State. Brooks, ball on the ground. It's a free ball. A lot of black jerseys there, and it is 17 who pounces on top of it. The break that TCU needs to try to regain some momentum.
We talked about how K-State for decades has been sound. They don't make mistakes like that to beat themselves. They have handed Duggan the ball at the 30 and potentially handed momentum to TCU.
They get the ball at the 30-yard line, like you said. Now they've been going to that running game. Got to work the perimeter. Got to rely on that speed that they have to be able to win some of these matchups. Brents and Hayes have been holding up.
Badler just recovered the muff punt there in the backfield with Miller. This is Johnston motioning in. They fake it to him. Duggan fires downfield, and the catch is made. It's all about Battle there. Makes the fumble recovery, makes the catch. Frogs are set up 1st and goal.
They moved Johnston into motion, came down that right side, flooded the zone. They lost track of Trent Battle. Really good location. Kind of a back shoulder throw there by the quarterback.
2-back look again. Frogs playing with some tempo here. Duggan running all the way. And hit hard at the 6. Nick Allen on the stop.
Your first tendency as a defense, they get inside the low red area, inside the 10. You know that Duggan's going to keep it. We saw it earlier when he converted on a 4th down, and now you're seeing it as they make that big pass. They get inside the 10 right away. They go right back to old reliable when they get the numbers to their advantage.
It has been tough to run the football in this KC defense this afternoon. Can they punch it in from the 6? 2nd down. Miller bounces it and scores. And TCU with the takeaway and the touchdown slices into this lead. Been a while since the Horned Frog faithful have had something to stand up and cheer about.
Well, you're right about that. The block here by Wiley really helps. Good job of bouncing right there. Good vision. He's downhill. He gets his momentum going and able to break right through that arm tackle of Payne, the freshman.
Arm tackles don't work against
Not against
33.
the big man.
They haven't all year, and he scored a rushing touchdown for the 14th consecutive game. Miller has the longest streak in the FBS. But it's the muff punt by Phillip Brooks here. Just the uncharacteristic mistake. Took his eye off the football. It was pounced on by Battle, who made a catch to set up the touchdown run.
Game on. Here we
Margin
go.
back to 4. 9:09 left in the 3rd in Arlington.
The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship on ABC is brought to you by delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
What a finish last year. Sean McDonough with the appropriately excited call as Baylor stops the Pokes a yard away to hold on to win the conference title by 5 points.
Unbelievable game.
Well, TCU has been one of the best second-half teams in the country, plus 104 after halftime, 5th in the SBS. We talked about their comebacks. The margin is back to where we were at the break with that muff punt, changing momentum and setting up TCU. And Brooks is right back there on the goal line to receive the kickoff, trying to atone for that mistake. And you kick it away from him over to the 3. And running it back to the 30-yard line is set quarter. So Arlington home to the All-State bus. Curtis Wilson piloting around. And let's go back last night's mayhem moment.
Well, you have to and give Kyle Whittingham a lot of credit. All the focus on USC. Would they win? Would they go to the playoffs? Somebody forgot that the Pac-12 championship was online, and Utah showed up.
Not Utah.
No, I'm saying no. Somebody forgot to talk about the importance of just winning the Pac-12. And boy, they not only win the game, pull away in dominating fashion. Great to see this team, Cam Rising and company, on their way back to a Rose Bowl, second year in a row, winning the Pac-12. So Kyle Whittingham, one of the most underrated head coaches in college football, with a big win.
Reality check for Lincoln Riley and the Trojans, just destroyed in the trenches. This is Phillip Brooks. Again, he's going to be asked to step up and play a bigger role. Makes the catch at the 34.
Well, this is you just saw the graphic. This is a team that gets into the second half. And when it happens 5 times that you're trailing and you find a way to do it, you become a confident team. You believe that you will find a way to win a game. And you get a momentum-changing play like a dropped punt, muffed punt. You capitalize, you get touchdown. It's a significant drive for Kansas State just to try to regain some momentum that TCU just picked up.
Vaughn on second down. Picks his way and leans for a first down to the 40 before Hodges Tomlinson stopped him.
BB getting in there. Sennett, tell you, he does such a good job. He can catch the ball. 6'4", 247-pound tight end, but does so many different things for this offense. That time sustaining his blocks and gave Vaughn enough room to get that first down. And they go empty again. Vaughn up top in the slot.
Howard looking over the middle. From the pocket, delivers and almost intercepted. Hodges Tomlinson was tracking in front of Sennett that time and had his hands on the football.
Well, watch what Vaughn does with the defenders. Watch how many defenders are aware of Vaughn being in the slot and how it opens up the middle. See how they clear out? Linebackers are cleared out. Problem is, Howard's late on the throw. I'm not sure what caused him to be late. There was a wide lane there, plenty of time. He stepped up. He just throws it late and behind Sennett.
LT's nephew is one of 3 Thorpe Award finalists to the top DB in the country. On 2nd and 10, Deuce on the delay. And he's hit hard. They are focused in on 22. Jamal Hodge got there in a hurry, and it's 3rd and long. Long's defense a chance to give the football right back to Duggan and build in this momentum.
A lot of changes for TCU's defense, trying to bring in Cooper, Horton, trying to bring in speed to get pressure without necessarily having to blitz.
Brooks motions over 3 receivers to Howard's left.
Winners will come from here.
They bring late pressure. Howard chased, runs for the first down. The big man got his legs going and just made the 50 and moved the sticks.
Well, they play man-to-man. I thought Winters might come, but he actually stays in coverage. When he stays in coverage with Vaughn, now there's nobody on the edge. Now he's able to get around, and look at the defense there. By the time they realized it to adjust, he's already got the first.
Howard now slings it, and catch is made for a short gain by Brooks on first down.
Howard 6'5", what is he, 240 pounds?
Yep.
Whatever. I mean, he is a monster, but has enough speed. 3-sport athlete in high school, dropped a lot of weight, dropped his body fat down, put some muscle on. He's a house back there. And that time showed that he's got enough speed to get to the corner and pick up a first.
Colin Klein, admiring his quarterback, worked hard on his mechanics, his footwork, become a much more consistent thrower. And the physicality that he brings is obvious. Here's Vaughn. It'll set up a 3rd and short. Holly?
Well, you're talking about 3-sport athlete. Will Howard was actually a 1,000-point scorer in basketball. He said basketball was really my first love, but I decided football could take me farther. Downingtown, Pennsylvania. He said I grew up outside of Philly, tough neighborhoods, and really good basketball and good football. But he decided that he could be better at this sport, and we're seeing it right now. But because he's so big, sometimes you don't think he's also fast. He's got pretty good foot speed. 1,000-point score. He's got to be able to move him a little bit at least.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Talked about Duggan's journey. Will Howard also embodies resilience. A lot of ups and downs in his career in Manhattan. Brooks comes in motion. Vaughn has the ball, but he does not have first down yardage. He's dragged down at the 41 by Hodge, and it's 4th down.
What a job by Terrell Cooper, 95. He doesn't necessarily make the tackle, but he's doing a good job of being able to get a push into that backfield. Eventually he's able to help out with Hodge, but they say he's the most improved defensive player. The 95 went from a question mark to being a guy you can count on. Great play there.
Miami keeps the offense out there. They need 1.5 yards. Giddens and Christian Moore, the big fullback, in the backfield. Hand it off, and Giddens plows ahead for the first down. So something of a gamble, protecting a 4-point lead, but confident in those guys up front.
Yeah, and it was Vaughn last time in that short yard situation. This time they bring in Giddens, who's got more size, but much better push. There's a surge there on the right side. And Giddens just gets behind it and lowers his pads and easily picks up the first down. But you give the offensive line credit there. The TCU knew it was coming, and the Cats able to pick it up.
3 receivers to the right. They pitch it on the edge, and this is Garcia, who stepped up and made the biggest play of his career with the touchdown catch earlier, but Bud Clark was there to stop him.
They continue to go back to the young man. He made such a big play. You know, at this point, he kind of settled into this game, and their first adjustment was not to bring him in. Gives you an idea that they weren't sure themselves, but once he makes that play, now they go back to that 3 receiver look with Warner, Knowles out. You got Brooks and Garcia.
Vaughn on the pitch, makes a cut, lowers his head, and is stopped inside the 40 by Dylan Horton. Another important 3rd down play coming up.
Pull their center Gillum, the left tackle Leviston. That play is designed to go way to the outside, but TCU took that away. It gives you an idea what Deuce Vaughn can do with his vision. Instead of a loss, it gives him a couple yards and a better chance now.
5 receiver look now in this 3rd and 4. It's becoming one of those grinding drives. Pressure. Howard. He'll be sacked back at the 46. D. Winters came in the blitz. There was nobody there to block him. That's the risk of the hefty backfield, huh?
Well, they slide the line to the offensive. The offense is right because the threat of the blitz from right here. So the line goes out this way. The problem is there's nobody to pick up the side, the edge, that left side of that offensive line, and that's great closing speed there. Can't believe Howard somehow held on to the ball. D. Winters been one of their best pass rushers all year and gets home there at a critical time in this game.
So they took more than 6 minutes off the clock. They ran 12 plays, but couldn't add to the lead. Zentner just kicks the point of the football, and the coverage team, tremendous teamwork. Did they keep it out of the end zone? The officials are going to talk about it. Now they're signaling touchback. The ball just has to break the plane. Let's see if it does here. It's Garcia down there doing everything he can, but it looks like the Dr. Pepper pylon cam is going to show that ball did come across the line there. Forget the feet, it's where the ball is, and it looks like it did break the plane.
Yeah.
Horned Frogs will take over, still down 4. Just build a new ballpark. Why not? There's nothing wrong with the old one, but let's build a new one. We got the land. Goodyear providing aerial coverage, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven.
It's a little warm there in July, though, right?
Okay. If you're that soft, you can't watch a baseball game. Hey, Coach Corso, who picked Kansas State, hanging out with Holly down there.
Holly, tell him keep coaching. He's trying to coach him home.
Play fake on first down. Duggan wanted a downfield shot. Will launch for Johnston. He's wide open. Quentin Johnston collects it and is tackled at the 29 by Josh Hayes. He's been involved a lot, good and bad, today for the Horned Frogs.
Well, again, there's the matchup that we wanted to see. One-on-one, and Brents this time gets lost. What a severe hit on Duggan as he releases the ball. He had a blitz called, and 22, Daniel Green, unloads on Duggan right there. But look at his focus. He took a shot, but he wanted to make sure his guy Johnston made the play. And, of course, they get the big pass play here.
It was 51 yards. You see bleeding from the knee. He was bleeding from the arm earlier. It's going to take more than that to knock him out of the game. Kendre Miller barrels forward. Johnston, a couple of big plays to go along with the fumble in the first half.
And off to the right is that matchup, 6'4" against 6'4", but this time Julius Brents, really for the first time we've seen him out there downfield, just gets lost there in coverage. Great adjustment by Johnston on the football.
Not sure why he lost focus on Johnston. He just left him.
Yeah, completely 30 yards downfield.
It's DeMarcado. They fake it to him across the middle. The slant is broken up beautifully. It is Jacob Parrish, the true freshman, stepping up. Next man up mentality, makes the play.
Yeah, they run an RPO that creates that one-on-one matchup, and you're right, Parrish, a young guy, but he's looking at these linebackers. Look at the safeties coming down. He's got what he wants. He throws it a bit behind instead of out in front of his receiver.
Came in with two safeties down. We saw the corner go Boydo go down. Here comes Parrish. VJ Payne's out there playing. We've seen Keenan Garber. Dudes pressed into duty against this talented offense. 3rd and 7. Here comes pressure. Duggan off his back foot, lops it for Johnston in the end zone. Jump ball flag. Pass interference on Brents, who's having a tough time with the rangy receiver. And that took place in the end zone. Will set up TCU on the doorstep.
Great call by Garrett Riley. Goes back to that similar look when they made the pass. Look, he's got two receivers. He knows with the safety to the inside. He's got one-on-one to the outside. Why not go to your guy? Put it up in the air where he has a chance. And Brents, again, he's beaten on the play, loses, never sees the ball, so is forced to grab Johnston and bring him
Pass
down.
interference. Defense number 23. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's their first penalty of the afternoon. Perhaps saved the touchdown. But Brents is starting to be picked on here. Johnston came in with that ankle problem that Marty Jaramillo talked about early on. It's still a delicate thing. He's still one hit away from re-aggravating it. Out for the moment. Minute to go in this third quarter. Duggan scrambling. And he'll be dragged down behind the line at the 12-yard line. That was true freshman Jake Clifton making a play.
Well, they are young, right? You got players that got to make plays. Good coverage right here. Here he is in coverage, so comes off of it. Now the closing speed. Make sure he is down. Duggan thought he never touched the surface. He thought he just came down on top of the backer, Clifton.
Play is dead when they blow the whistle. I mean, Duggan, it's been a demanding drive for him. Drilled after he made the throw for the big play. Tackle in that run. DeMarcado works his way, but it's going to be another 3rd and long. Let's see if he did, in fact,
Duggan came
touch
up.
the ground.
Yeah, his backside. Yeah. Sold it pretty good.
So, TCU, perfect season on the line. Big 12 championship on the line. The final quarter in Arlington coming up. 4-point Kansas State lead. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Well, Grapevine, Texas has been made famous by the CFP Selection Committee, which meets about 20 miles away from the stadium. And they are looking into the beginning of Championship Saturday here. Of course, the exclusive reveal of the final bracket and all the New Year's Six Bowl games tomorrow, noon Eastern time. Available on the ESPN app as well. Is TCU in even if they don't win? That is the question of the moment. 3rd and 7. Another 3rd and long for this offense. Only converted one of these today. Duggan under pressure immediately launches for the end zone. Intercepted. The pressure forced a terrible decision. And Julius Brents, who's had a rough quarter, makes the pick.
How fitting. We keep previewing and talking about this matchup. I'm going to tell you what happens is you get pressure here, and that affects the matchup out here. Duggan senses and feels that blitz. Nobody picks it up, so he's falling away as he throws it. When you fall away as a quarterback, unless you're Josh Allen, it's going to affect your accuracy. He underthrows it, clearly would want to put it up into that back corner where the 6'4" receiver can go up, climb the ladder, and make the play. But because of the blitz, Duggan can't get anything on it.
It's Austin Moore making another play. Uncharacteristic for Duggan. Only his 4th interception of the season, a costly one. And the Cats back to work in the 4th quarter, protecting a 4-point lead. It's Vaughn fighting hard for a 1.5 yards. You know, the pressure of the moment. You think of Duggan as being so poised and so calm and confident in these moments, but he definitely pressed that time.
He did, and you know, that blitz from Moore, that's a play that should not get overlooked because it's a great job. That matchup is fun to watch. Brent's against Johnston. Johnston's won his share. Brent's early was making plays. This time he takes advantage of that poorly thrown ball, but again, that linebacker blitz caused that.
3rd big play Austin Moore has made today. And 2nd and 8, the Cats figure to use as much of the play clock as they can. Howard delivers a long throw, and that's Phillip Brooks stepping up, making a catch, moving the 6 across the 35.
Got to win one-on-one. You got to get separation, and Brooks is able to do that. And how about the throw by Will Howard? He's been late on some throws. He's put the ball behind some receivers. This one, perfectly thrown out in front, where Brooks is rewarded for that route with a nice job of getting the 1st down.
Duggan disappointed with himself, hoping he'll get a chance to engineer another late comeback. But can the Cats stretch the lead here in this possession? Vaughn makes a cut and is wrestled down. A solid 1st down gain. Banks got him, but he picked up about 7.
This play is designed, right? Outside zone. They want to get this ball out here. But watch the vision here by Deuce Vaughn. That ball, because the job this defense does of setting the edge, he's got to come back all the way. That's why those blocks on the backside are so important. You just never know where that play might end up. And that time, Deuce Vaughn, it takes advantage of the back door.
Vaughn's had to earn his yards here. He's been held under 4 yards a carry. But some key moments. Now the 2-back look. Keeper. Howard into TCU territory. Another 1st down.
Boy, good job by Colin Klein mixing this in. That defense collapses down, of course, on Deuce Vaughn. Not expecting this from the big man at 6'5", 240 to pull it. They're sprinkling it in just enough. At the right time, the defense falls asleep. Good call by Colin Klein, and Howard with the execution.
That's right. They're sprinkling it in tactical runs by this big quarterback. Big moments of the game. Vaughn, or excuse me, that's Giddens making a cutback. Another good 1st down gain. It's tough when you pick up 6-7 to get off the field if you're TCU.
I'm used to seeing TCU's offensive line in the 3rd and especially 4th quarter wear down the opponent, wear down that defensive line. That's been their calling card. But here at this point, with just under 12 minutes to go, at least on this drive, you're starting to see Kansas State's physicality. Kansas State starting to lean on TCU a bit, especially on those 1st down runs.
Vaughn gets the edge. Deuce Vaughn in the clear. Can he make a man miss? And it's easy. Touchdown, Kansas State. And the Cats getting closer to the conference championship. 44 yards as they cash in on the takeaway. Unfair in space.
Yeah, Chris, watch the motion, watch the corner go, and watch this play designed to go to the right. Bang, there's another example of how you never know where it might go with Deuce Vaughn. Great job of feeling that play designed to go to your right, gets it back to the left, using that motion, takes the corner away, and the linebackers just could not catch up to Deuce.
And Mark Perry, the safety out there thinking, uh-oh, it was a mismatch. Yeah. In the open field.
Yep.
And how about that? The interception in the end zone by Brents. And then 80-yard, 6-play drive did it in less than 3.5 minutes. And Colin Klein is doing things without his top receiver, finding a way to get 22 involved. It's an 11-point margin. 11:27 to play. Look for the all-time K-State legend and the current star here.
Man, it reminds you so much of Darren Sproles. And Sproles with those big shoulder pads in a Big 12 championship when they upset Oklahoma. And Deuce Vaughn, who he grew up idolizing and loving, and to have a chance to make some plays tonight in this Big 12 championship is pretty cool to see.
Vaughn with that run over 100 yards. Holly?
Well, guys, what an incredible full circle moment for Deuce Vaughn. Grew up idolizing Darren Sproles, inspired by him to keep going on this journey. And he said, whenever you get compared to a great player like that, it's something you definitely take to heart. To be compared to him is humbling. I'm honored to be in the same conversation or sentence with him, but more importantly, the inspiration that Sproles provided for him at a critical point in his life of you can do this. And boy, was he ever right.
Yeah, Sproles, by the way, I'm remembering that performance against Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. Caught the ball for 80 yards, ran for 235. They destroyed a top-ranked Oklahoma team, blew them out. We were there. Yeah. So now TCU playing with some serious urgency. Again, down 11, but time ticking away as Davis makes the catch.
Well, this team has been tested and challenged all year. It's one thing to say, oh, we believe we've done it 5 times, we can do it. Well, now it's a neutral site, 11 minutes to go, a lot on the line. Needed points on this drive.
Duggan got a free play here. Drew K-State offside, launches downfield, and it's incomplete. There was Parrish getting his hands on the football.
I know they had a free play, but man, our guy Jacob Parrish, true freshman, holding up out there, right?
It's a big-bodied Spivey.
Holding up.
Yeah, I think Duggan saw that a couple of cats had jumped into the neutral zone there.
Offside. Defense number 92. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Good job with the snap count. You said there were a couple different candidates. I think it ended up being Eli Huggins. One thing you count on is even down 11 like this, you'll see Duggan keep his poise.
It's Johnston covered by Brent's far left of the formation. That one-on-one matchup. Going to hand it off inside. Miller lowers the shoulder and booms for a first down. There's that freshman Parrish who got in his way.
TCU not even close to desperation mode. Smart to stay balanced. Smart to continue to run enough with Miller. He's been a big part of their season. Those safeties have to be aware of that. To be able to create
no desperation, but there's urgency in this possession.
Urgency,
big time. Sure. They don't have to go fast, but you got to come away with points here. Yep. Duggan launching. Johnston against Brent, shoving, and flags come out. But if you don't get the catch, there's a good chance you're going to get a PI, and Brent's again to prevent the big play just hauled him down.
And Riley keeps putting those 2 and 3 receivers to that set with Johnston onto the outside and take those safeties away and creates the one-on-one matchup.
Defense number 23, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You got to admire Kansas State. You know, they've got trust and confidence in Brents. I mean, they've been putting him out there on an island. At some point, you wonder if they will move a safety over there, try to help him out just to be sure. I mean, the big thing with Brent's out there, he can match up athletically, but he's got to be in position from a technique standpoint to give himself a chance to find the ball. We've seen 3 or 4 examples when it's downfield. He loses the ball or loses the receiver, Johnston.
Grappling on the edge. We've not seen the last of that today.
No.
Late subs for K-State. A little confusion on this defense. Now they're finally set. DeMarcano is the back. Duggan straight back, delivers a dagger down the field. It's incomplete. Again, he had a man. That was Blair Conright. Open, just overshot him.
Boy, he had the seam working right here between the safety and the corner. Good job of switching at the line of scrimmage. That switch release has exactly what he wants. Goes airborne. You wonder if he continues and maybe goes up in the air or just tries to extend his arms if he's able to hold on to that without having to go airborne there.
Johnson was gassed in the previous deep route, so he had to come out. Conrad, a man, has made just 4 catches this year. Duggan with the pocket collapsing around him, launches downfield again, and it's another interception. Oh, he dropped it. Julius Brents had it in his hands. An easy pick. Couldn't come down with it. the ball came loose as he landed.
But you talk about a play by Brents. Watch this. Here's Brents, and he's got a deep post to worry about. What I want you to see is, as much as we've talked about this one-on-one matchup, he goes to the post, comes off of Johnston, now goes back the other way, and is in position to make that interception. So he did all the hard work, and then he doesn't come down with the football.
Another shot delivered on Duggan after the throw. And now a 3rd and 10 to deal with. Across the middle. That was way too high for Darius Davis, who was not open. And now it's 4th and 10 from the Cats 46. Offense staying out there.
Duggan really frustrated with himself. Yeah, I think it's just been one of those days. You know, Duggan always a consistent, accurate thrower. You know, that's anger and frustration with himself, not the receivers.
Got to shake it off here. Number 3 for 3 on 4th down is a part of that first victory over K-State in October. Can they get 10 yards here? Only a 3-man rush. They give him time, and he delivers. Tay Barber makes the catch, paid a price, took a shot at the 30, but a crucial completion.
Boy, he pays the price. But, man, did he deliver on 4th down and the inside. Former high school quarterback. This safety ends up making a play, but he's got to respect that go ball down that right sideline that holds him just long enough. But he still comes up there to make the play to try to separate him from the football. Throws that on a rope. And what an effort there to come down with that ball by Tay Barber.
So Barber laying it on the line, but Payne delivering the shot. And we'll step aside by the look at the receiver.
The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship on ABC is brought to you by delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Enjoying, but more importantly, evaluating what they see the selection committee. Let's take a look at the CFP rankings brought to you by AT&T 5G. The focus is on Ohio State flipping to number 4, you'd figure, with USC losing. And then what would the fate be of TCU if they can't make up this deficit here in the 4th quarter?
The chaos started last night with the SC game. It continues this afternoon in Arlington here at the Big 12 Championship. You got a championship on the line, college football rankings implications, potentially a Heisman vote for many watching Max Duggan.
Barber was okay, had the wind knocked out of him, jumped up and was smiling as he left the field. Here comes pressure. Duggan escapes. He'll run. Max Duggan eludes a tackler and is still going. Down to the 5-yard line. There's a flag way behind the play, so this play may be coming back. But what an effort by the quarterback.
Yeah. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Down.
It's Andrew Coker, the right tackle, erasing the long run.
And Coker, that's where he went. I mean, he went around that right edge, and often when a running back runs out wide, you wonder, how did he get to the corner? Was there a hole that got him free in this case? And Coker's trying to state his case. Watch 74 on the right. Once Duggan moves right there, he grabs onto that jersey. Officials all over that.
Austin Moore all over it again. Once again, the linebacker for the Wildcats involved in a play to draw the penalty. Instead of 1st and goal inside the 5, the ball's back at the 40.
Takes away a heck of an effort by Duggan again, trying to make a play for his team.
Would have been a 25-yard run on 1st and 20. Duggan hit as he throws, and the timing was messed up. The throw was low. They are heating him up now. B.J. Payne broke it up in the secondary. Holly.
Max Duggan told us yesterday every film he'd watch, he'd see opponents blitz more than they typically did against him. He knew he has to be smart when he's under duress. But the guys down here on the sideline for K-State saying this is the most we've blitzed all year. They are heating him up right now.
Yeah, it's normal, as you said, for TCU to face more blitzes than other team show opponents. But this has been a next level tonight. They have affected Duggan a lot. 2nd and 20. This time it's only a 3-man rush. He checks it down. It's Miller out of the backfield. Eludes one tackle and picks up a gain to the 34. Another 3rd and very long, though.
You're right about the pressure. That time just rushing 3. chess match with Garrett Riley against Joe Klannerman, the defensive coordinator.
Who doesn't get enough credit, does he?
No.
It's a very interesting defense they play.
It is. You know, you see all these 3-3-5s that all over the country now, but really started in the Big 12 to defend the spread. Everybody has their own spin on it. They put together a multiple package today.
Duggan has time, delivers a high throw, catch made by Wiley, the tight end. It'll be 4th down. They'll need a few here.
And he got pressured again. Just with the 3, Mott got the pressure there.
This place got quiet. The fans know the importance of this game. And down 11, he's going to send the field goal kicker out. Interesting decision here. Wanting to make it a 1-possession game, but you don't expect that in the Big 12 Conference. Kell missed a really long one, then made it from 42. To make it an 8-point game, and it just slides inside that left upright. They take it 51 yards. It's a 1-possession game, but it's still an 8-point deficit for Dykes. Over on ESPN tonight, UFC from Orlando. Who do you like in the welterweight main event? Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who's about 40 years old, against Kevin Holland.
I'm probably going to go Kevin Holland.
A young guy?
Yeah.
7 o'clock. Come on the air. Main event at 10 o'clock on ESPN.
They really like that thing there, huh? It's been a big...
Hypno-Toad. You're not sold yet on it.
No, I don't. I haven't spent a lot of time on it, so I don't know about it. I mean, I've heard about it a lot this year.
Brooks had the muff punt earlier. His kickoff return back to the 22. Back in exactly 8 seconds, but a word first from Ram Trucks.
Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Talked about TCU's comebacks. K-State's one of the toughest teams to come from behind on. The Horned Frogs did it once in October, but since then, 15 points total allowed by this K-State defense after halftime. Now, TCU's managed 10 today. Got to get the football back here, though.
And the last time Howard and the Cats had the ball, it was about their running game and winning up front to give Deuce Vaughn lanes to run in, and he hit the big one.
Warner in motion. Vaughn's got it again, and they are just flying downhill. They swarm the talented tailback behind the line of scrimmage.
Good job up front. Like you said, these guys are expecting run. Linebackers are shooting. D linemen slant and angle, trying to hit a lane there where they're able to get upfield. The big freshman Williams makes the play, but you could see those backers led by D Winters. They are getting downhill in a hurry.
Now, what does Colin Klein do? Does he try to sneak the tight end out? Does he involve Brooks or maybe Vaughn as a receiver?
Play action, throw the ball behind those backers.
You throw it over the middle, and it's Brooks making the catch, and he's spun down right near the marker by Bud Clark.
It's
first down.
That's your answer. Watch the reaction of these backers because of Deuce Vaughn, and you got a pulling tackles pulling. Watch the linebacker. I mean, we talked about how they're getting downhill. Here's your answer. If he's going to move like that, it creates a great throwing lane. So good job not waiting to 3rd down to make a pass call. This time they attack on 2nd.
Yep, and every first down they make, they get closer and closer to that Big 12 championship trophy. Vaughn spinning and grinding for about 6 on 1st down before Banks wrestled him down.
I'm convinced they can't see him. Honestly, those linebackers, they can't find him. When he's delayed like that and he gets behind those 300-pound linemen, keep in mind he's 5'6", 175 pounds. Now he runs physically, but I think he gets behind there, and by the time he shoots around one of the corners, he's too quick and has too much momentum. Those backers lose it.
No hurry. You see Howard check the sideline. They figure to milk as much of the play clock as they can every snap. They snap it at 7, and once again, Vaughn is swarmed behind the line. That was Mark Perry who came in, and it sets up a 3rd and long.
That is an incredible play there by Mark Perry of taking on the block. You got 2 backs in the backfield, and watch him come up right here and deal with the block there by Giddens and get off of that block, keep that outside shoulder free, and then make that tackle for a loss.
Big moment here. Can the Cats keep the drive going? Keep working on that clock. They need 6 on 3rd down. TCU desperate to get the football back. Three-man rush. Howard launches downfield for Vaughn in coverage, and it's incomplete. Mark Perry was step for step. Did a good job, and it's 4th down.
Well, they go to a 50-50 ball to a guy that doesn't have a huge catch radius, but he's got great hands. We just saw Perry in run support. Now the versatility. Can he stay with Deuce Vaughn downfield? Waits to see his eyes look up for the ball, but pretty much in phase there.
That's the stop TCU needed. And Tay Barber back to receive the punt. It's a good boot by Zentner. Barber retreats and makes the fair catch at the 15. There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. It's 4th and 6, keep in mind.
Illegal formation, kicking team more than 4 in the backfield. That penalty be assessed at the dead ball spot. 5 yards, timeout.
So they'll take over 80 yards from the end zone. Down 8, 4:47 to play. Can Max Duggan pull it off again? Can the second half comeback kings of college football add to this roster with yet another rally? 80 yards away. The difference is this time a field goal means nothing. A touchdown doesn't win it. A touchdown on a 2-point conversion are required to tie it. But this is the conference of sweaty palms, and in the championship game it's only fitting that it comes down to the final couple possessions and wondering which quarterback, which offense can step up and make a big play. Keeper Duggan lowers the shoulder. No sliding for this guy. 1st down to the 34.
Great job of making that read on Matlack. Matlack came around, collapsed down on Miller in the backfield, stayed at his mesh point, pulled it out. Got some really good yards there on that 1st down.
Checks it down, threw it behind Miller, who reached back with one hand to make the catch, but Austin Moore, another crucial play, and they're behind the sticks.
Yeah, he's just kind of checking that down because of the pass rush, and once again, Austin Moore comes out of nowhere. I think he at least thought he'd get some positive yards. Now they're way behind the sticks here.
Lose 5 on the completion.
Those shots downfield against Brents.
To show pressure and bring it. It's picked up. Lofted downfield to Johnston. Incomplete. Good coverage that time. Brents one more time. Matchup on the edge. Lost his helmet, but able to break it up.
Well, there it is. We just thought we might see that. They've been going downfield. I think Brents gets his right hand in here to knock that away. Prevents Johnston's right hand to be able to get his own arm up to make the catch. If you go frame by frame, that would be pass interference. But in real time, Bill, that's a hard one to see. I thought that was a good effort by Brents.
Just a shade early with that arm, wasn't they? But you're not going to see that call too often.
Real time. Brents is off the field now.
Had to step off for a play, losing the helmet. That gives Duggan the chance to walk over and have a conversation with Garrett Riley. Couple plays to get the 15 yards.
Johnston's off the field as well.
Getting a breather. Three-man rush. Duggan flushed. Again, takes off and runs and weaves his way. That time he did slide. A good decision. It's 4th down and 2.
You rush 3. You drop 8, and by the way, you got 4 really deep and 4 right about at the 1st down marker, so a lot of yards to pick up.
Still playing pretty quick here. 2 yards to keep this drive alive. Duggan takes off again. 1st down and more. Max Duggan barreling down inside the 40. He has just said, give me the ball. I'm taking this. this over on the ground.
Yeah, he did it on 3rd down. This time gets a couple good blocks on 4th down. Really just setting himself up for that down. Did not hesitate. Saw it right away. And like you said, Chris, as a guy who's led this team, he wants the ball in his hands with a chance to make a play.
Pressure again. Launches downfield. Hudson, wide open, touchdown TCU. Did he push off to create the space? Is this coming back?
It will. He pushed off to get the separation. That's a true freshman in Hudson pushing off.
Pass interference. Offense, number 7. 15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
We've got Omar Daniels. We've had a lot of injuries to this secondary. Daniels is out there one-on-one against Jordan Hudson. Doesn't have safety help. And there's the separation. And the good call there to bring it back.
So that 15-yard penalty puts them way back in their own territory in 1st and 25. Duggan again took a shot after letting the ball go. Mercado, and they run it on 1st and a mile. He fights back into K-State territory.
The crowd still frustrated by that call. Johnston and Brent's back both in the game at the top.
Pressure again. It's picked up. Duggan, though, running out of time. He's got a lot of space. He can run again. Max Duggan, first down. Tight bumps the sideline. It is finally shoved out of bounds. Max Duggan on the ground has been the story of this drive.
No doubt about it. Chris, they've been rushing 3. This time they blitz. They play man-to-man. Look at the coverage. If you can get away from that blitz, there's nobody left, and that's what he does. Man-to-man coverage, outruns the defensive line, and then down the sideline. Nobody in that secondary realized he had taken off.
Kirk, in this drive, Duggan has run for 15, 13, 19, and now 40 yards. 4 explosive runs, 1st and goal. They're all in on this possession, by the way. Clock winding under 2 minutes. The play clock's at 3. Another run. Duggan. How does he have anything left in the tank? He barrels in the end zone within 2 of time. Unbelievable effort by the quarterback in that position. He's so gassed, they should spend a timeout before the 2-point conversion here.
Just incredible effort by Max Duggan. The guy who has been there for this team with his arm and his legs all year steps up on that entire drive to set up this 2-point conversion.
Did he get some air back in the lungs and gain 3 yards? K-State stopped 3 out of 4 for their 2-point conversions this year. Wide open, caught. We have a tie game. It's Jared Wiley. And Duggan can barely make it to the sideline. He's pushing away teammates who try to congratulate him. What a drive.
This is a monumental drive, a historical moment in TCU football history, and a play and a drive we'll never forget by Max Duggan. Like you said, Chris, after that long run, does he have anything left? Is he just going to go down? No. Great blocks into the end zone. He is gassed at this point. They don't use the timeout. They come back, and the 2-point conversion to Jarrett Wiley. Crossing route. Somehow they lose him on the right, 19. Somehow in coverage. I don't know if they have their eyes on Duggan as a runner, but look at that. Just nobody stays with him. An easy decision, and Max Duggan has to get helped off the field.
Is that a Heisman moment? I mean, you saw Caleb Williams brilliant all season long. Even in a loss, he played pretty well. He was a warrior down to the end. Duggan responding with a warrior-like performance. And we have perhaps some extra time here in Arlington to decide the Big 12 Conference Championship.
When was the last time you watched a drive like that, and at the end of it, he can't walk off the field?
He's on hands and knees in the end zone before the 2-point try.
And after the 2-point, you got guys, his linemen, and everybody walking him off. taking him to the sideline.
I'm with you, man. We've done this a long time. You have rarely seen a quarterback take over a drive like that as a runner. Here's Brooks. And Phillip Brooks has some space, and he's tripped up after a dangerous-looking return at the 35. So the Cats back in business now. Minute 45, all 3 timeouts.
I think you and I want to catch our breath with Max Duggan. First that zone read to kind of get him going here. This guy just had a look in his eye. He was not going to be denied. Scrambling, design run. This is the big one. Right away, sees that he can get the first down and picks it up. Then the blitz, they try to affect his timing and rhythm. They come after him. They play man-to-man, so there's nobody there to pick him up.
You know, can Deuce Vaughn answer? They've been keying in on him. The obvious choice is a top weapon here. Solid first down gain. Stays inbounds, clock still running. He's still trying to collect him.
Somebody give my man some oxygen down there. That was heroic effort. Over 100 yards rushing. By the way, he's been beaten up with their pass rush.
Howard backpedals and tried to maybe get Vaughn in a wheel route. Has to throw it away, and it's 3rd and 4. They don't convert here. Duggan, if he can, will take the field and try to win it in regulation.
They had vertical routes downfield. Deuce Vaughn was just a check down, but good job by D. Winters taking him away.
What does Colin Klein call here? What can Will Howard produce? Empty backfield. Across the middle. Deuce Vaughn makes the catch. Almost shook free for a huge play, but he moves the 6 into Horned Frog territory.
Boy, how fitting that Deuce Vaughn is a running back. With the injury to Malik Knowles, they needed others to step up. They line him out there in the slot where he has some wiggle and some receiving skills.
Howard directing traffic, lofts it downfield, just over the outstretched arm of R.J. Garcia, young man who has stepped up and contributed today with a touchdown catch.
Just off his fingertips. Howard not hesitant at all to go to the young man after the play he made earlier. Like he may have slowed down a bit on this route, but look at this throw. Just off his fingertips. Set up this 2nd down.
This battle has been what we expected. Not great has it been. 2 tough, resilient teams. A very even ball game. Dead even in the final minute here. Howard backpedaling. Still backpedaling. The screen wasn't there. And he just spikes it in the ground. Jamal Hodge pressured him. Crowd wanted a flag for the hit after the throwaway.
Just a little shove after that play. A good call with it. No call. But a good job by TCU's front taking that away. Trying to get into field goal range. He's as calm as can be when you and I and Holly would sit down with him on a night before a game. But man, in the middle of the game, he's a warrior.
Ty Zentner is an excellent field goal kicker. He's reliable with pretty good long range, but they're going to have to get the ball. Perhaps not quite a first down. They could give it a go from 56, 57 if they can get the ball another 8-7 yards here.
Zentner came in the Oklahoma State game, and he's 8 of 8 since then, and I think he's long of 53. So
go to the ESPN app for live coverage of the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship Game trophy ceremony. Holly will preside over that just after the game. But who's going to be? And will it be overtime to decide it? And what will Colin Klein look to do to keep the ball away from that man at the end of regulation here? You've seen something special today in the performance of Duggan.
Yeah, really have. And with a lot of Heisman ballots out there still unsure. Talk about taking advantage of a stage and an opportunity.
But now it's Will Howard who has the stage. Needs 10.
And Deuce Vaughn in the slot here.
Rolls out, delivers a throw off the fingertips of Warner, who couldn't collect it. Hodges Tomlinson in coverage, and it's 4th and 10.
Boy, that's going empty. A lot of space, one-on-one matchups. Goes to Warner, who's sure-handed. The ball is high. And right after Hodges Tomlinson, and Max Duggan says, we got to stop. Somebody hand me my helmet.
Well, Tay Barber is back at his 10-yard line. Zentner hoping he would be in range for a potential game-winning field goal. Instead, will try to pin the Horned Frogs deep. Does this very well. Barber's going to let it bounce, and it's going to be caught on the fly at the 5-yard line. So perfect execution on that. And Seth Porter, receiver, down there to make the catch. And so now, 95 yards away from the end zone. A long way from field goal range.
Yeah, and I think with the momentum that they created to get this thing in overtime, 95 yards away, but not even, you're trying to get in the field goal range, but at your own 6-yard line, I think it's a smart thing to get this thing into overtime, I would think. We'll see. Got all 3 timeouts.
If you drop back in the end zone, a sack loses it, a holding penalty loses it. A lot can go wrong down here at the 5-yard line.
Then again, with the way 15's playing, what the heck?
If you just run 95 for a touchdown.
What the heck? They're going to call a timeout here.
Let's get down to Holly.
Well, guys, when Max Duggan came off the field after that epic drive, he was absolutely physically exhausted. He could barely stuck to the bench, where they treated lots of different cuts on his body. He's got a pretty bloody elbow. They put out an antiseptic kit to treat that. But when you look at this kid, I'm counting about 20 cuts, nicks, raspberries, grass burns. He is so banged up right now.
Look at this.
But just to remind you, this is a kid who had a 9-hour heart surgery and started the first game of the year 4 weeks later. Max Duggan is going to leave everything on the field today. Don't doubt that.
Hey, Holly, you've seen a lot from ringside. Have you ever seen a performance that's quite like this in terms of all of what you described, the physical wear and tear, what he did in that last drive? Incredible.
Speaking of ringside, Holly, when you get a chance, if this thing goes to overtime, if you can find an oxygen tank for 15, that would be helpful.
They didn't give him oxygen. I kept waiting.
I know.
He didn't want it.
And they're going to go to overtime. He doesn't want the oxygen. He didn't want help off the field, and he doesn't want any oxygen.
It's the formation you hope to have at the end of the game, but it's not a victory formation. It's just overtime formation.
Makes sense with the momentum they have right now.
And you know what? With what's at stake here, the way these teams have competed, whether or not TCU needs this to get in the playoff or doesn't, that's really secondary, right?
Yeah.
They're battling for a trophy and a championship. And this, of course, is going to go to overtime here in Arlington. What a battle for 60 minutes. And now beyond. Overtime coming up. The end of regulation here in Arlington, 28 apiece. I know you're going nowhere. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. This will be a tough act to follow on Championship Saturday, Kevin. Goodyear zooming over ahead here, providing the aerial coverage, road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Everybody just kind of taking a breather, especially the Horned Frogs quarterback here. And this will be interesting. You got a couple offenses who can run it in from short range, but also throw it in to quarterbacks who are rugged.
Yeah.
Two play callers that have been up to the challenge so far today.
It's been refreshing to watch these two teams compete, and especially these quarterbacks. We live in an era with quarterbacks. They specialize at a very young age. They work on mechanics and learn so much about how to come in ready to play in high school and college. Today, you're seeing what quarterbacks are really all about. Playing with a lot of heart, a lot of toughness, making the players around you better. That's what quarterback playing is all about.
Adrian Martinez, injured, of course, hopes to return for the Sugar Bowl game. Is out to rep K-State on the coin toss here. We're going to see if you win it. You're going to play defense first.
Welcome to overtime, gentlemen. Congratulations on a great ball game so far. Here are the rules for overtime. Each team will get one timeout. There will be no carryover for each timeout. If we play the first overtime and we're still tied, we'll go to a second overtime, then we'll play 2-point conversions after that in the second overtime. If we go to a third overtime, each team will have possessions from the 3-yard line. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, here's our coin. Blue side's heads, red eagle is tails. Blue side's heads, red eagle is tails. Adrian, it's going to be your call. What's the call going to be? Tails is the call. It is tails. Kansas State has won the toss. Okay, Kansas State.
He did so much all season long to help him get in this game. He's been a buddy and a mentor to Will Howard.
Which direction?
Correct coin toss means that they'll play defense first, and then we'll see Duggan on the offense right back out there.
It'll be TCU. First down at that end. Okay.
Play defense first.
As Kevin Moore explained, they've tweaked the overtime rules to prevent those multi overtime games. After the first one and second overtime, if it gets to that, you got to go for 2 if you score a touchdown. After that, it becomes college football's version of penalty kicks. Nothing but 2-point tries from the 3-yard line.
That's right.
So
hopefully Duggan has had a chance over that last, I don't know, 7 to 8 minutes. Catch his breath and get ready for this series, and we'll see the adjustments. Kansas State has played really well all night until those last couple drives of Duggan's legs really impacting the game. See how they tweak their approach defensively.
You'd think they'd keep an eye out for number 15 running the ball in this overtime.
You may want to watch that.
A fitting ending to a tremendous season of drama in the Big 12 Conference. We said this is the league of sweaty palms. And nobody here in this building is calm at the moment. Barber in motion. It's Miller. Picks his way. Kendra Miller has the edge, and he barrels down near the 10-yard line.
A great job by Andrew Coker, the right tackle, winning his block right here on the edge. He got called one time for a holding call. This time, clean block, and there's Miller with that bounce. You know, he's a big physical back, but has that lateral quickness.
Miller joined by Trent Battle in the backfield. Do you get cute down here? Do you keep it basic? Power football. Miller makes a cut, falls forward for 4. Because there's a lot of options in this offense.
Sure, I mean, there's so much speed around Duggan.
So many big bodies down here, so many big targets.
Yep. Got a veteran offensive line that can get a push, especially late in the game. You got the potential jet sweep motion.
Kind of a weird start to the play. It's Duggan rolling, makes a cut, stretches. No signal. They'll spot him short, just short of the goal line. That was a funky start to the play. Nobody looked ready.
No, and the 2 backs didn't even know what happened. They didn't know the ball was snapped, and it's like a backyard football play. Again, the toughness of this guy. Duggan stretches, knees are...
It's the hip that landed first. The ball was stretched out as his hip landed.
Watch the elbow.
Did he break the plane? Elbow down. The tip of the football's right on the plane, though, Bill.
Forearm down, eye of the ball short.
They've sought him way back at the 1-yard line, not as close to the goal line. The play clock's winding down. They'll have to spend the timeout here. So he said, wait a second. We were taking a look at that play. He wasn't sure if it was a touchdown or third down.
Yep.
And they didn't stop the play clock. So it wasn't officially reviewed. Let's take another look at this. This was a weird play from the start.
This is what you saw. Watch this. The backs, both these guys, Battle and Miller, watch the ball snapped. Even some of the linemen, the linemen are on it. Backs unsure. Miller doesn't even realize what's happening, and Duggan makes something out of nothing.
Timeout. TCU.
And I think he thinks it's a touchdown, but we're going to look at that elbow and forearm.
Boom, forearm there. But the ball, if they review the spot, it's inches away, not a full yard away.
Yep.
And Bill, can they correct that in this timeout, in this dead ball? This is a pretty crucial spot. Every inch matters down here.
They might do it through the O2Os unofficially, but not officially.
Max says But he got it. Head on the carpet, just giving every ounce of energy and somehow
TCU
finding
called timeout
reserves.
to challenge the ruling on the field of the runner being down.
So they
That's why we
challenge.
call it timeout.
They challenged the ruling. So if the ruling is that he's short, can they respot the ball, Bill? That's I think what TCU fans are wondering here.
The ball can be responded
Yeah.
with this. Yes.
Yeah,
So they could earn a couple feet.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. You can see it.
It's in relationship to the goal line or a first down. You can do that.
I mean, right now, like you said, Chris, it's just inside the 1 yard line. But you see this right there. I mean, it's 8-inch line, maybe.
Maybe less.
Yeah.
It had to come down to a Max Duggan run, didn't it? And it may still. And it's going to be 3rd and goal.
What an effort!
We
by
think
this.
it'll just be inches away.
It's not just the numbers. It's not just the plays that he's made. It's the effort, the heart, determination, way he leads his team.
And there's been plenty on the Kansas State side as well. You took up a defense trying to keep him out of the end zone that's playing with a whole bunch of guys pressed into duty. So many injuries in the back four. So many guys stepping up and increased roles and responsibilities and finding a way to make plays today.
Just when the Big 12 fans didn't think their conference championship could get any better. You know, last year Oklahoma State and Baylor came down to the last play, and now you get this one to this year.
They're showing this thing. They're freezing it. It's a 100-foot long screen here. Of course, you see what you want to see depending on which purple lens you view this through. But I don't think they're going to give him a touchdown. I think they're going to spot it just a few inches short after all this. Man, just like last year, Kirk, this championship game, we showed you the Oklahoma State Baylor came down to inches in the other end zone.
Yeah.
They're checking this out methodically. Brad Van Vark is the replay official in conversation with Kevin Marr. Man, it's just year after year, this championship game produces drama. Really unlike any other. Consistently close, tight, one-possession games at the end. Sonny's still lobbying. Let's say it's short. And you put Duggan under center here, try to shove him across the line.
If nothing else, these teams, with the way that regulation ended, at least they've had a chance to regroup here and catch their breath. Obviously, Bill, this must be about the spot. I mean, when it's taken this long, you want to run down there and try to get some clarification.
Hey, you know, all
After
the things.
further review, the ball carrier's elbow was down with the ball short of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd down. The ball will be inside the 1 yard line.
Yeah, well inside. So the Horned Frogs, who were down 11 with 8 minutes to play in the ball game, will try to take their first lead since the first quarter when they scored to jump in front 7-0. They haven't moved the football that much.
They moved it
A little bit, but not really where we think it should be. 3rd down.
all that for 4 inches. Here we go.
It all matters down here. Looks like it is going to be Duggan under center. Miller behind him. Miller's got the football. Fighting, stretching. No signal. Stop short. 4th down.
Clint Duke makes this play. Linebacker who's walked up right here collapses down, blows this play up. Nobody accounts for him. Able to get into the backfield.
There might be some coaches
Miller.
here who would kick this and take the lead, but the offense is on the field.
Chris, I don't know if that ball came out, but it looked like it potentially did on that replay.
Uso Seumalo, nose guard, is down on the field. Here's where the ball kind of came loose.
I
Miller.
don't know if it's because he reaches or that ball is out.
He was reaching. Was he down when he reached it? Was there a clear recovery in that mass of folks? Did it come loose? The replay booth has a chance to check that out.
That shot from up above, if he's not down, it appears he broke the plane.
Can you tell if he's landed on bodies or the field at that point? It's difficult.
That's the thing that'll be the key issue.
So you think he may have broken the plane before he lost the ball?
And I think he got it back anyway. It was a pile of bodies, but what? Let's see. Keep an eye on the football. There, and the ball's out. But somehow he got it back.
There's a couple things in play.
Right there, Bill. Is that you think that's the maybe he breaks it there?
On that reach, it appears. Now, again, we could be a little deceptive because the camera's behind it. It could push it forward.
There's the stretch.
But on that stretch there, it appears part of that ball may have broke the plane.
But you're right, though. The camera angle is not directly on top of the line.
Yeah, there he is with the ball.
So is that indisputable video evidence?
That's your department.
Bill, this is why you're up here, my friend.
You're supposed to provide the answers of the questions.
You keep putting me on the spot. Yeah, I don't have indisputable video evidence. My gut says it's a touchdown, but I don't have indisputable video evidence.
And at this point, they're not looking at this, so it's.
I guarantee you, they were looking at it.
Seumalo helped off the big fella, but that is as tough as it gets after this physical battle to fight for every last inch down here at the goal line. And TCU putting that perfect record on the line here. 4th down. Miller is the back. He's got the ball. No! Kansas State stops him. K-State's defense rises up on the goal line and denies Miller. And now any points on their possession will win them a Big 12 title. What a stand.
Gutsy decision. Kansas State's defense, it just gave all those plays up to Duggan. Watch this defensive line eat up the blocks, and it frees up the backers to be able to get downhill in a hurry. Great job here of occupying. How about Clifton, 31, making a play? True freshman, 22, gets in there and makes the play. Daniel Green, good job up front of eating the blocks. And the linebackers downhill clean it up.
You know, Kirk, there's going to be a lot of second guessing. Why not with a big physical quarterback just sneak it and knock him in the back, get him in the end zone? You need about 8 inches in that play, and it was a long, slow developing play. Miller got the ball at the 5-yard line, and he couldn't fight his way in.
They brought Carter Ware in the head of, in front of him. First time they've really shown that look in short yardage, a tight end, like playing as a fullback.
But what will K-State do here? It's Vaughn on the fly sweep. Deuce Vaughn. He'll be knocked down just short of the marker at the 16. Obviously, comfortably within the range of Ty Zidner, who you said was a mid-season replacement and hasn't missed a kick this year.
I just love the call with the ball in the right hash. Put Vaughn in motion where he gets his momentum going. He's got 4 blockers as receivers and a tight end. Sent it.
Vaughn again. It's a 1st down. They will talk about that goal line stand forever in the K-State Wildcat Nation if it produces a victory here.
It should. You had a tired defense, a lot of breaks at the end of regulation with the replay, and a defense with a lot of pride had to step up and make a play. We were kidding about every inch matters. Boy, oh boy, did it ever in that sequence of plays.
Giddens and Vaughn in the backfield. It's Vaughn again. And the conservative call, and that's just a yard. Chad Banks knocked him down.
You know, see what happens at the end of this game, and you know, we can speculate all we want. You know, right now it's about winning a Big 12 championship, but there are people watching all over the country who are not Big 12 fans but want to see what's happening to number 3 TCU and what will happen if they lose. I think they're safe. I think you and I have said that a lot today.
Keeper Howard knocked down inside the 10. Of course, they don't feel that way in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The Crimson Tide are the team that figured to be sitting on the bubble. 2 losses by 4 points in tough environments. But TCU has been so solid throughout the season. The resume is sparkling.
Yeah.
5 wins against ranked teams. Michigan, Georgia each have 2 of them, by the way.
I just think with USC losing last night, you know, TCU's season that they've had for 12 games, you know, if they came into this game and competed the way they have today, it may affect the seeding, but it's not going to affect whether they're in or not, at least in my opinion.
And it's a very safe keeper. Howard just goes over, gets the ball in the middle of the field for Ty Zentner, the senior from Topeka, by way of Butler Community College. Comes out there with a smile. He does the punting. He does the kickoffs. And most importantly, he does the field goals. And a guy who was given a chance mid-season when that was a very shaky area for K-State comes out here to give Kansas State a Big 12 championship. Dead center, 31 yards out. Kansas State outlasts TCU. And they are Big 12 champions for the first time in a decade. And after fighting from behind in the 4th quarter yet again, Sonny Dykes' offense comes up inches short in the top of the 1st in overtime. He chose to trust his offensive line and try to punch it in, not settle for 3. Duggan, a tremendous job. Most would say this is enough, but it'll be, as Dykes told us yesterday, still kind of an anxious evening in Fort Worth.
Yeah, a lot of time to talk about that. I just want to say, man, Kansas State, the year that they've had, a lot of people doubting them. They've had to make some changes at quarterback when Martinez went down. Will Howard stepped up. They kept fighting, kept battling in a competitive conference, got themselves in a position to be in this game, and they come in with a championship heart, and it goes into overtime, and they find a way to get it done. Congrats to Kansas State.
And Chris Kleeman, who won 4 championships of the FCS just down the road in Frisco, comes to Arlington and wins a Big 12 championship. And a 10th win sends them to New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl. That's a big deal for the Purple Cats of Kansas State. TCU hoping they've done enough. Max Duggan did all he could today. Again, falling inches short in overtime. Woo! Wow, 31-28. Kansas State moves on.